What up, people? What's good? Salute.
Yes, sir.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Salute to the tribe. We're hip hop and comics and hip hop. We're a niche channel. We're a niche channel and reserved for the best. What's good, everybody? This is the Sixth Element of Hip Hop. Y'all already know I'm your host, Reno Noir. This is our co-host, Stu Dog, and Sada in the house. What's good, y'all? Hip hop and comics. Comics and hip hop.
What's up?
Episode 773. No, I'm just kidding. But you know, we do have a lot of cool shit.
I would have ran with that 773 episode. I would have ran with that.
I think it is. I think it's 773, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what I labeled it as anyway.
Yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff to talk about. We have the Marvel reveal events for Secret Wars. The Miss Marvel. There's a 2-episode Miss Marvel. I guess you got to be a super fan to get those episodes for whatever the Miss Marvel thing is they're doing, a TV show. They've shown images of Black Panther and released a little bit of information about the new Black Panther movie.
Yep.
We got to talk about that. We got to talk about Batwoman. And Sada, can you just take us to it?
Oh, okay. We're going to start with that. So, Javicia Leslie, who plays Batwoman, who was, the current Batwoman on the CW, she, in an interview, said that Batwoman did for TV what Black Panther did for the movies.
What?
I got through it without laughing that time, but yeah, that's what she said.
Put that in perspective, like what does she mean by that? First of all, what did Black Panther do for the movies?
So she talked about the cultural impact of the film and how basically that movie showed that there was a space for Black superheroes and Black stories told in the movie sense. And then she went on to compare it to her character and show Batwoman, saying like that
LGBT
Batwoman, with this show we showed that there is a space for Black superheroes every week on the dot or whatever. That's what she said in the article. And I don't know. I don't want to call her delusional, but it's like I don't know how you can have that conversation and Black Lightning is not a part of the conversation. Like,
right? Yeah,
anyone did that. It's Black Lightning, not you and your show. Because
there's a lot of different Black superhero shows that preceded her. I thought they were gonna say for the like LGBT community because that's the gay, the lesbian. Okay.
Yeah, she kind of mentioned that a little bit more in the article. She was saying like that this show was to show the higher ups that there is space for Black superheroes, women superheroes, and gay superheroes. There's space for everyone, and let's continue that diversity. And I feel like I wish she would have said maybe Black female superheroes or Black female gay superheroes, because those two, there aren't a lot of those on TV right now, especially within the CW. To just say women and gay, there's a slew of those on the CW. So, I mean,
Yeah, so
I don't agree with her, but
a little
because it's just kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, but like you said, it for Black lesbian characters, maybe she has a point.
And I said that like in my video, I was like, I wish she would have kind of said that, because I'm like, we don't really have a lot of those outside of her. I think it was just Thunder on Black Lightning because she was gay as well. So there really aren't that many, but I think she was too broad with it. But I think I understood what she was saying in that aspect.
Right. Absolutely.
I don't, man. I don't, because I got to keep it a buck. I really do. Okay, these characters for DC have always been gay. So Batwoman's always been gay. It's never been a secret. It was never sugar coated.
TV show.
I mean, well, let me get to my point. Let me get to my
Okay.
point.
All right. Sorry. My bad. My bad.
If you're talking about these characters, they've always been gay, always.
Right.
Black Lightning's daughter, his oldest daughter, has always been gay.
Mhm.
That's never been a secret. It's never been something that had to be personified or 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 focused on,
Mhm.
because even in the comics they didn't focus on it. See,
Right.
that's the part that she got wrong, because if you got to focus on it, then what do
Right.
you really are you bringing us the hero, or
Right.
are you bringing us the fact that the hero's gay? And that's hard, because if that's the case, you could have made a gay show about a rich woman who was gay and just wasn't a superhero.
Yeah, I agree with
Or
that because,
right,
like, in the
it takes away
middle of
from the
the
story.
yeah, in the middle of the article, she says, "That's what I love about Ryan, which is the character's name. She checks all the boxes," and I'm like, that's not really indicative of like someone who's well written if all she does is just check the boxes, because that's how the
Right.
CW moves anyway. Like that's
Right.
how they choose who the star, with on their shows or something like that. Do they check the boxes? So for her to say that was like a big blunder on her part,
Yeah.
because you don't want to describe your character ever as someone who just checks the boxes, like ever.
Right.
Facts.
And
Absolutely.
it's like if you gotta, like Reno always says, that woke movement. All right, listen, I'm gonna say it here and I'm gonna say it now. Nobody cares. Nobody cares if anybody's gay, straight, whatever. Nobody cares anymore. It just doesn't matter. So like, give us quality writing, quality characters. We don't care if they Latino, black, white, purple, red, green, orange, gay, straight, bisexual, pansexual. We just don't care. Just give us good stories. Give us good writing.
Right. And it's
Give
like,
us something good to look at. Like, give us something good to watch. Like,
yeah,
don't make me
like
leave. Yeah, don't make me leave the TV. Like, damn, I can't get that time back. Like, damn,
word.
I just
That's
wasted
the
30 minutes
worst.
of my life. I could have been doing something else. I could have been watching Six Element of Hip Hop, but I didn't because I wanted to watch this.
And isn't that where they want to get? Isn't that the point? Don't you want to get to the point where it's not a big deal anymore?
Right.
Like where we're not focused. It's not a big. It's like Sidney Poitier was like, oh, it's a black, star, black lead. Like we're past that now. We're not thinking it's like when it's Will Smith. It's like, oh, it's not like, oh, there's a black guy. Like we're not talking about that anymore because we're past that point, and that's a great thing. That's where we want to get.
Right.
It
And
seems
that
like
was
they
like
don't,
the great thing,
and it seemed
about
like LGBT don't want to get there. They want to
No,
constantly
they
talk
don't.
about it.
Right. They want to constantly throw it in your face. They want to constantly let you know that it's there. They want to constantly let you know. Listen, LGBTQ community, we love y'all. We haven't forgot about y'all.
Yeah,
We don't think y'all the worst people in the world. But what we do want is we want y'all to just have more dignity. Some things it just ain't worth it. Everybody recognizes y'all. Everybody. If this was 1988, all right, cool.
yeah.
I would understand. But it's
Then it's something.
2022. Right. It's
I feel like fight for
2022.
your integrity, especially in your
Right.
characters. Like fight for that.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
these
Right.
companies don't care. They think this is what
No,
you
they just
want,
want right.
and
And that's what
you're
That's
and
going along with
yeah.
it,
And
yeah.
that's what the
I-
LGBT community doesn't understand. It's a ploy. Hollywood is making money off it right now, and they're making as much
Yeah.
money as they can. Politicians are making money off it right now, and they're getting your votes, and they're getting as many as they can. You're being exploited, and you don't even know it.
Yeah.
So don't let
yeah.
them exploit you. Put up, you know what? Start putting up gay candidates. Start getting gay directors. Start getting them
Mm.
to come out. Somebody started a gay network. If it ain't
And
already
there's
is one.
like there's characters where you don't really had no idea they were gay. Like it's like the whole movie, the whole thing goes on, and like you might find out later, oh, that character, by the way, they're gay. It was never talked about. It was never like displayed. It just was a happened to be, and that's like the quality. That's the respect. That's the dignity. That's the good writing. That's where that's where you want to be.
Yeah, and that
Like
was
Right.
that.
like the great thing about Black Lightning. Like it was just there. They never made Anissa being gay like her character. Of course, her relationships were brought in and stuff, but that was just part of the story. That was just part of the drama, like any other CW drama. And us and to go animated with DC, like with Young Justice, Aqualad being I don't know if he's bi or gay. I'm not sure, but either way, it's not a big deal. They don't make a big
Right.
deal out of it in the newest season. Like, it's just okay, his boyfriend, whatever. It doesn't take away.
Well, they just started that right. They just started that last year with the and Lito, you're right. Lito's way, you're right. That's 100% right. Just having people. They just started that last year with the DC Gay Pride Month. With DC saying we're making a stand for Gay Pride Month. So they made certain characters. So that whole month, certain characters they're gay or bi. So you got they chose Aqualad, Jonathan Kent, Robin, and a few other people. What was it? Harley Quinn, and they matched up Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. Like, it's just a whole thing DC does. This year they're pushing Earth 11, where all the roles are reversed. You know, gender swapped. Everything's gender swapped on Earth 11. So they're pushing that. Which, me personally, you should have started with that last year. You know, and I mean, it makes sense. So you could have did a 4-issue limited series for the month, Earth 11, every year. I mean, and like Reno says, you're switching up characters, you're doing this, and nobody cares. Like, nobody's caring about these characters. Like, all right, whatever. You know, you get Batwoman, who doesn't have a comic right now, can get a comic for a month. You know, it would make sense. The Ray is gay. He's from Earth. I forget where Earth he's from. He's always been gay. Always been gay. Always been just flat out, like, it wasn't no secret. But like
Shatterstar is a character from
Shatterstar.
back in the day, from the early 90s, who's an X-Force character. Like, a lot of people didn't even have any idea that he was gay. He is. I mean, he's an alien, but he's gay, and it's not a big deal. Like, no one cares. It is what it is. Not, and we don't mean that in a mean way, like no one cares. We mean like in a good way. Like, that's not a problem. Like, cool, he's gay. Like, cool, and then move on. Like, don't make it the focus.
Right. Don't make it the focus. Right.
There
Like,
are so
that's
many
all
gay
we
homosexual
focus on.
characters in comic books that when they make a movie, they aren't.
That's true too. That's true. Like Constantine. Is
he's bi. He's pan.
He's pan.
Oh, yeah. He'll go with anyone.
Do with anything. Yeah. And he won anything. Yeah. But speaking of Black Panther, what do y'all know about Letitia Wright's fiasco or whatever it was? I guess there was some issues on set in the new movie. And she
before we get to that, Reno, let's get to some other juicy Black Panther news. We know Namor is going to be in the movie now. We know it's going to be a movie about Wakanda versus Atlantis. And we also know that Namor is going to be the Atlanteans are going to worship the Jaguar gods, because, you know, the Wakandans, they worship the Panther god. And if you look at Thor: Love and Thunder, they show the Panther god sitting with Valkyrie, and wherever, I forget wherever that is on stuff. So they show the Panther god in human form, like the hippo that we saw in Moon Knight. And Marvel did that on purpose, because they're going to start using these gods as things that, you know, people worship, and they connected that all to the Eternals. So a lot of that stuff we saw in the Eternals, and that's what we're going to get. So with Black Panther, in this movie, we're going to get Namor is going to go at odds with Wakanda, but they're saying that they're going to address the fact that Chadwick Boseman died, but they're going to address it as Black Panther. So we don't know who's going to take over the mantle. Maybe Namor might kill Black Panther, and that's how they address it. We don't know yet, but it's exciting to know that we're going to at least get that. And I think a lot of people are going to have a problem with that. I think a lot of people have
the segue I was trying to make, Stu.
Oh, God,
we were talking about Black Panther.
Yeah.
Said it okay.
I mean, well, I know you said it good. I was just trying to say it better. I mean, you said it good.
Even better. So Black Panther Wakanda Forever, we know, has suffered a long string of difficulties throughout its development, and the issues began with the tragic passing of T'Challa, you know, Chadwick Boseman, and only have continued due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Reports of troubles on set stemming from Shuri actress Letitia Wright, although details surrounding them remain foggy. I don't, you know, like, I keep hearing it, but I didn't really know a lot about it. But she's actually addressed it, and that's what I was going to talk about. During the COVID-19 pandemic, she was reportedly spreading anti-vax sentiments on the set of the film, leading to viral controversy, and reports even indicated Marvel was considering changing the plot of the film due to the issues but these tensions appear to have been since resolved. But in the midst of all the controversy, filming was forced to temporarily halt on Wakanda Forever as the actress suffered an injury while filming a stunt scene. But despite all this, Wright remains the top contender to replace Boseman as Black Panther. And that's a whole nother thing. But as her Wakandan genius, Shuri is the sister of T'Challa and the woman behind much of Black Panther's powerful technology. But the cast and crew are hush on how Boseman's passing will be handled from a plot perspective. But they have discussed, how he impacted the sequel. But Black Panther, Wakanda Forever's, but Letitia Wright, she spoke with Variety at the Cannes Film Festival and discussed the controversy surrounding her behavior during the filming. And she shared in her belief, in the importance to keep going strong with what you believe in and your desire to impact the world. She said, I've learned that in life, you just have to keep going strong with what you believe in terms of your talent, in terms of your desire to impact the world with your art. And that's exactly what I'm doing. And I'm so proud of myself and the movie that's coming out this year. I'm so proud of it. But she discussed how Chadwick Boseman impacted Wakanda Forever after his passing, describing the film as an incredible honor for the T'Challa actor, promising it will be jam-packed with exciting stuff. But Marvel Studios has yet to reveal how Wakanda Forever will handle the absence of its original lead. As it has remained adamant that they will not recast T'Challa. And I guess I kind of agree, but the sequel has been promised to honor the king and the actor's legacy, with another Wakandan expected to take on the mantle by the time, the credits roll. But she, explained that Shuri, the actress, Letitia, she explained that they honored Boseman by committing themselves to the story that he started, going on to note how they faced a lot of difficult situations during the production. But, it was initially revealed that Chadwick Boseman would be back in the starring role, but due to his unfortunate passing, the cast and crew have been placed in a difficult position. The significance of Black Panther in Marvel and the grand box office success of the first film, meant the franchise was bound to continue. Obviously, some Marvel Studios had to work around his absence. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that they should recast the character, or they should give it the mantle to a different character? Should they just, this is T'Challa, it's a different actor, but it's T'Challa? Because it wouldn't be the first time Marvel did that.
Yeah.
It's not out.
It's weird. It's a tough spot. I think for this film, they should leave it alone, but maybe going forward, I wouldn't mind if they recasted him. We didn't get enough time with Black Panther. And I feel like he should still be explored before we just move on to someone else taking the mantle. But it's a weird spot. So I don't know. Because they're probably going to give someone else the mantle. And it's like, well, I don't know.
Yeah. Chadwick's brother said Chadwick would want Marvel to replace him, right? And that's right, Shadow. I don't know. I think that the actor Chadwick Boseman would want that character to exist, whether it was a different actor or whatever. You know what I mean? I think he would want them to. I think he would want that. I understand though people not feeling right doing that though.
Yeah.
Don Cheadle's War Machine, and he replaced Terrence Howard, right?
That's true, but Terrence Howard did not have the impact that Chadwick Boseman had when he played. Not even close. Character.
Yeah,
hot take though, I would not have mind if Terrence Howard stayed as Rhodey. I kind of liked him as Rhodey. That's just
me too. I really did. I was like, Stu, are you trying to talk? Because I can't hear you.
Oh yeah, you're muted.
No, I was just listening in.
Okay.
I was just listening.
Oh
no, no. I don't. You know what? Look, there's a lot they can do. If they got to recast, you got to recast. I mean, Chadwick Boseman died unexpectedly, and before we could really embrace this role. So, you got the blip. They could say when the blip, he just, he never came back. He was one of the people that never came back. They could also say, maybe he got swapped out with somebody from a different universe. Now that we got the multiverse in there, they said when
That's
they
true.
blip, the blip did a trip, and this is what we got. He is the king in another, and the other king is there. They could do a CG. We can knock it out, and now we got the new character. This is the new blip one. They just got exchanged by accident, and when they came back, something could have happened. I don't know. It's a lot you
Yeah.
could do, but to sit there and just say we can't recast, come on, man. That means Black Panther's done. It's done
Yeah, I mean,
because
I don't think he should be done yet. So
I
I,
don't.
I
I
like
think
your idea though. They've really opened the door with the multiverse, so they could do it.
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
that's the
yeah. I
thing.
mean, it's a
Not only the blip, but like Sada just said, the multiverse, right? You could just get a T'Challa. We see that characters in the multiverse in other universes are different actors, right? Different people.
Hmm.
So like
but they're the
it
same,
wouldn't be
right? They're the same, but
yeah.
they're different, right?
Yeah, it's the same character, but it's a different actor playing the character. In other words, because it's in another universe, they look different. That's all it is. It's like how they were gonna have Tom Cruise be Tony Stark. He looks different because he's in a different universe. So it wouldn't be
But he-
crazy to have the other another T'Challa from another universe come through. I mean, that's the fucking perfect fucking way to handle that. But
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of shit though, like you were saying, because after when he died, it forced Marvel to revise the entire script for Black Panther 2, and in the process, rumors about who the villain could be were circulating around, but it seems that Marvel cut the villain out. Because if they had kept the rumored villain, MCU fans would have watched the movie several times just to see the villain's debut, because yes, the villain is that important to the MCU. With Josh Brolin's Thanos out of the way and Kang the Conqueror fighting other variants off himself, fans know that the next iconic Marvel villain would be Doctor Doom. Like he's got it. It's Doom, right? Normally, Doom is seen as the Fantastic Four's main villain, but
no, he's the main villain for the whole Marvel universe.
in the
Yeah.
comics, that character is incredibly dangerous. He's he's
Yeah.
he's definitely spanned across every character, every book. He's taken several hero teams out by
Out.
himself
So
to stop.
yes,
Yeah, I mean, but Doom is definitely a threat to any superhero, right? And now that Disney owns Fox, the Fantastic Four are entering the MCU, meaning Doctor Doom should be appearing anytime now, whether it's Black Panther, Fantastic Four, it doesn't matter. Doom can just be anywhere he wants. But John Krasinski, the guy that played Mr. Fantastic in Doctor Strange, opened the door for fans to get excited for the Fantastic Four after his, little brief appearance there as the Illuminati member. But now fans hope to see the rest of that team, with their solo film is in early development. I don't even know if Krasinski's going to play him in the movie or not. It might have just been fan service, because it was the fans that cast Krasinski. Like it was the
That's true.
fans, like they were the ones the on the internet posting pictures of him and stuff like that way before Feige or Marvel thought about casting him. So they really cast him. So that whole Illuminati thing, because it was not the 616 Illuminati, which is why it was cool that they could die and all of that, because they're not the real Illuminati. They're that other universe's Illuminati. So
Illuminati. Yeah,
yeah. So Krasinski could have been fan service, but um, it seems that the original script for Black Panther 2 had Doctor Doom be the villain, which is crazy. Murphy's Universe shared their original scoop from early on for Black Panther 2 as rumors of the villain's debut started to resurface. And he's the tweet thread. A few people have brought this up to me this morning as the Doom rumors started swirling again. I shared this in November 2019. At the time, I was super clear that it was just a rumor. But the report says that Doctor Doom would have come into conflict with Black Panther after the villain began to conquer parts of Africa and the Wakandans take notice. Let me read this thing. It says Victor Von Doom will begin expanding his empire, conquering parts of Africa, and ultimately come into conflict with the nation of Wakanda and the Black Panther. That represents the entirety of what I was told. That's how it works sometimes. I was given no additional context, no additional details, nothing. At this point, you know what I know from what I was told. However, once one can begin speculating and having some fun thinking about how something like this might play out if it were actually true. But While this was a rumor, it seems the new reports of the villain's debut may start to surface as well. As well-known Marvel insider Daniel Reichman began to tease the villain's debut on Twitter by just saying "Doom, Doom, Doom" on a post. But while this doesn't state any new report just yet, it wouldn't be a surprise if news about the villain will be shared soon, because Doctor Doom is definitely a villain Marvel has considered bringing him into the MCU, and they are waiting for the right moment to introduce, this major character. Because Kang was kind of like, oh, really? Kang? Hadn't thought about him in a while. Doom is somebody that people are always thinking about, so hopefully fans won't have to wait long. But sadly, he will not be in Black Panther. But I'm kind of happy that Namor is now the reported villain for the movie, as Marvel changed the conflict to reportedly have Riri Williams, Ironheart, create a device in Wakanda that causes damage to Atlantis, which leads the Atlanteans declaring war on their old rival Wakanda. Because you guys know in the comics, right? The Atlanteans and the Wakandans are always at war.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because they've
been around. They've both been around a long time. So they're like, but in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they're not going to be traditional Atlanteans like we would know, because they want to separate. They want to separate it from Aquaman.
Right.
So these Atlanteans are going to be South Americans,
right?
That broke off. What was the name of the Eternal that had his own little group of people? They were Mayans. They were in like South America, and then he like shielded them from everybody when they went to go find him. They're saying that there's going to be another group that broke off, and they went, and then they multiplied and became the Atlanteans.
Was it Black Bolt's brother? What's his name? Not Xavier. What's his name? I don't know. I can't think of his name, but I think I know.
I can't think of him. Yeah,
but
those are going to be the Atlanteans, and I think a lot of people are going to have a problem with that, like, because a lot of people are expecting it to be traditional Marvel universe. Because in the Marvel universe, they don't try to separate it from Aquaman. They like, it's Atlantis, the ancient city that fell in the water.
They live underwater.
They don't say I'm sorry if it's too much like Aquaman. They're like, to just take our version of Atlantis.
They should just be unapologetic with it, you know?
They should just do what it is. It is what it is.
Like, guys, you know how people kind of rip it apart, man. Like, look at Doctor Strange. The movie was great, and it did represent the Marvel Universe in a lot of ways.
Still got people trashing it.
Trashing it, right? I mean, like, look at Carl Mordo. In the movie, when Doctor Strange was like, yeah, he was like, damn, you're Mordo? And he was like, yeah. It was like, well, the one in my universe is always trying to kill me. Which is true, because Carl Mordo hates Doctor Strange. He hates him. And they have little things in there that are reminiscent of the Marvel Universe, like the staff of the Living Tribunal. That is actually from the Tribunal, the Celestial, the Tribunal. That's actually embedded with the powers of the Celestial, the Tribunal. I mean, he carries that, and it's a very powerful weapon. Marvel doesn't tell you, the Marvel Cinematic Universe doesn't really explain to you how powerful it is. They don't even explain to you how powerful Mordo is. Mordo's he can go toe to toe with Doctor Strange. Yeah, he can go toe to toe with Doctor Strange. Yeah, he does it all the time. Yeah. Matter of fact, I read a comic, I say maybe about 4 weeks ago, where it was an older joint too. I got it from Wade's, where he was fighting Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange had to cast this spell. And the spell was so powerful, he passed out. Like, that was the only way he could. That's the only way he could defeat him, and it was actually deflecting a spell that Mordo threw at him, and Doctor Strange, he reflected it back. But he said it took so much power and concentration to push it back at him that it made him pass out. And Thor was the one that found him. Thor found him, was like, "Oh, what's up?" He was like, "Oh," and then he passed out. He told Thor what happened, and he passed out. So I think, like, even when we talk about DC and why those movies are so good, because that's one of the things in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They put the little things in there. People complain about them, and people talk about, we don't like that. But for some reason, they still go watch it because it's still breaking box office records. And DC needs to do the same thing.
They do.
But as far as this one, I think it's a good idea to go with Reno. I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good idea to go with Namor, because when you think about it, Marvel says in their comic book universe that Namor is the first mutant.
That's right.
But in this movie, they're not gonna. I don't know if they're gonna introduce him as a mutant or not.
Yeah.
So
Well,
we'll see.
they're recreating his origin and all of that. So it's a toss up, man. You never know because he's the first mutant because his character was in comics
In
first,
comics, right?
but Apocalypse is the literal first mutants canonically, like he was the first one alive, whereas Namor is just the first one in comics, but they weren't calling him a
Not really,
mutant
because
before the
well, you
mutant.
could, because they got an explanation for that in the Marvel
Apocalypse
comics.
is older than Namor, a lot older.
He is, but he also says that he is the mutants, where mutants are the humans. So what he's saying is that, okay, I am a mutant, but I'm more than I'm more mutant. Like I'm something different than what they
Apocalypse,
are.
yeah,
I'm like them, but I'm more than that. Right? He says I am the mutant. Like he's just telling like I'm
fights
more superior than yeah. Like mutants call themselves Homo superior, or that's what Magneto calls them.
yeah.
But Apocalypse says I am superior to Homo superior.
Well, yeah, but he still is proud to be a mutant. He still says that he's a
Oh, he
mutant,
is. He's yeah. But he's not.
but
He
he
wasn't born. But remember, he wasn't born a mutant. Remember, he got the powers from the alien craft. He's got the technovirus. Technically, he carries the technovirus. So it's a lot. It really is a lot when you break him down as a mutant.
Poof.
this is your Apocalypse Bible right here, Rise of Apocalypse. So this is going to tell you how he was born, how he got his power, whatever it be. He was a mutant, always a mutant, and I gotta recommend these, y'all. If y'all haven't checked these out, even the back of these fucking things are dope. It's one of the
Yeah, they are.
coolest
Look at
looking.
that.
Look at that.
It's
Yeah, they are
really
dope.
like, yeah, it's one of the coolest looking series. I mean, if you love Egyptian, you know what I'm saying, all of that, it's very dope. But yeah, it breaks it all down. But Apocalypse is still my favorite villain. We don't have to count the fact that he was already in a movie because we don't talk about that.
No, we don't want to. We don't. We really don't want to
gotta
talk.
talk about that one.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
don't talk
we
about
don't. We don't want
But
to
we
talk about
still need
that.
to see him in the movie. We still need to see Apocalypse. But a lot of cool shit coming down the pipe, man. We got all kind of new teams coming. We'll eventually, because the Avengers, that was the first team. They kind of, fizzled out. Some of them are dead or missing or whatever. They're old, they're retired, but we're definitely, it's only a matter of time before we get Young Avengers, Illuminati, the Defenders, Midnight Suns, X-Men, Fantastic Four, the Thunderbolts. Dude, there's so many teams, bro, that we're
Yeah.
gonna get. So, and all
As
of
a
them
matter of
teams
fact,
that
in the direction that they're going now, Reno, we can get all that. We can get Thunderbolts. We can get all of
Definitely.
that,
we
man.
will be,
All
yeah.
right. Yeah, we
Matter
can
of
get
time.
all of that, bro. Yeah.
It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time because all that shit is already laid out. They're laying the groundwork. They've already given us all the prerequisites for all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like all the characters that are parts of those teams. They're giving us little shows and little, you know what I'm saying, little cameos and little parts in the movie. And that's setting it up. That's foreshadowing. That's foreshadowing. So yeah, it's
It's
a
true.
fact that we're gonna get it. Um Sensational She-Hulk breaking the fourth wall collection review case study. So remember how we talked about the fact that she breaks the fourth wall?
Yeah.
In the early days of Sensational era of She-Hulk, originally debuting in 1989, the beginning of which is collected in She-Hulk Epic Collection, Breaking the Fourth Wall, are a case study in inconsistent tone. So on the one hand, you have the Sensational She-Hulk Ceremony, an ultra serious 2-issue miniseries published at the beginning of '89 that centers on She-Hulk's relationship with Wyatt Wingfoot and her concerns about her biological clock. And on the other hand is the eponymous Sensational She-Hulk series launched a few months later by John Byrne, which is, full to the brim with crazy like zany hijinks and like just silly shit. and the Zest list of villains and guest stars. But yeah, the aforementioned fourth wall breaking is the hallmark of the run. And character reinterpretations go hand in hand with superhero comics, of course, but I find myself hard pressed to think of a more jarring shift in characterization in a similarly short amount of time. Um, there is a really cool little list that of all the little instances and shit, but I can't wait to see how they really handle that. The fourth wall breaking, where she's like talking to herself. This is her right here talking to the reader of the comic.
Yep.
Hey, sorry, my thing froze up.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what's going on?
My bad.
I started looking out my windows. I thought we were getting attacked by aliens or something. Huh? What's going on?
Yeah, man.
But that, you know what? But that goes back to what I said earlier too. Look at Wyatt Wingfoot, a supporting character. I mean, but he is canon. He is Marvel Universe. He had a lot of him and the Human Torch were really, 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 really cool.
Yeah, he was down with
and
Fantastic Four.
he was down. He was actually like, he actually flew Quinjets for them and things like that. He was a supporting character. He has no superpowers, no nothing. He's he's like an exceptional athlete, good hand-to-hand combat and things.
And
of
they
that,
were
that,
together.
that
She was
nature.
with She-Hulk. He was
Yeah,
with
he was with She-Hulk. Yeah. Now it's going to be interesting to figure out how they're going to do Wyatt Wingfoot, since we're all on the woke movement here, and we want to pay attention to everybody. We don't want to offend anybody, because Wyatt Wingfoot is actually Indian, actually American Indian. So we're going to see how that works out. You know what I mean? We'll see how they do that. Yeah, we'll see how. I'm just going to be looking at my chops.
Hopefully they keep it, keep him Native American. And I mean, it's not like there's, a shortage of Native American actors.
Native Americans, right? Mm-hmm.
But
but he is Native American. You know what I mean?
Yep. And so that'll be dope.
And he also started working for Shield later on, and then he was flying Quinjets for Shield. It's a lot of history of Wyatt Wingfoot. Believe it or not, for him not to be, he's like a Peggy Carter, like a male version of Peggy Carter. Like he's got a lot of background. He's in the scenes a lot in the background in the comics, but I don't know. I just want to see how they handle it, man. I really just do.
Yeah. Well, there's two sort of like styles of She-Hulk that they can pull from. They'll probably pull from both, but like I said, there's the more serious, ceremony, and then there's like the sensational. But while the bulk of the ceremony era of She-Hulk, of course, comes from her main title, I want to talk through these stories in publication order to better get into the mindset of readers in 1989. The Sensational She-Hulk ceremony, written by Dwayne McDuffie and art by June Bergman, is Jen Walters' first solo spotlight since the series that introduced her in 1980. Jennifer Walters being She-Hulk, 1980 Savage She-Hulk. And naturally, McDuffie takes the opportunity to focus on the former Avenger and Fantastic Four member's personal life as Jen assesses her recent breakup with Wyatt Wingfoot and her desire for a family. Unfortunately, while the story is ostensibly about She-Hulk, McDuffie gives Jen relatively little agency, and what unfolds winds up feeling trite and disjointed. One of the problems with this mini is that the things that happen to Jen feel contrived and rushed, with the goal of each scene being just to get her onto the next. And often this means that one, She-Hulk makes choices that seem to come out of nowhere or have, tenuous reasoning. And two, a lot of the plot just happens and characters know things they shouldn't or say things that are never followed up on the, flimsy basis for the central decision that sets up ceremony. And She-Hulk choosing to reconnect with Wyatt Wingfoot sets the tone. And alone on her couch, Jen is moved nearly to tears by a loving sitcom family and goes for a walk to clear her head to ponder whether she wants to have a baby. And on her stroll, she happens to pass by a family picnicking, planning thing being picketed by anti-abortion activists, and one of whom loudly proclaims he put a bomb in the clinic's safe. How'd he get access to the safe? No one knows. And a bystander tells She-Hulk about the danger, and Jen rushes into the building where she finds two of the clinic's employees trying to get the safe open. And it turns out Jen happens to know one of the women. She's named Mavis, and I have no clue if we ever see her again, but she doesn't even get a page on the Marvel Wiki. But She-Hulk can't defuse the bomb, and the clinic is destroyed in the ensuing explosion. After catching the bomber, who happens to be one of the three people still in the vicinity and whose name Jen somehow knows, she and Mavis hang out at Mavis's apartment. And Jen shares her thoughts about having a family, and Mavis asks her who she'd, want the father of the baby. And Jen, apparently, it happens off panel, gets in touch with Wyatt Wingfoot. And this kind of like over reliance on coincidence as a narrative tool plagues the rest of Ceremony once the main plot kicks in. In short, considering how long the plot summary went in the last paragraph, right as She-Hulk is reconnecting with Wyatt, evil capitalist shaman Clarton Beatrice, founder of Clarton Industries, begins the last phase of his plan to steal the souls of everyone on Earth through the co-opting of various Native American artifacts. And so, including a basket MacGuffin that Wyatt's grandmother sends to Jen for safekeeping. Within less than a week, Jen and Wyatt get engaged, and Wyatt learns that he must develop his own shaman abilities to counter Carlton's, abilities. And She-Hulk helps him, and then they break up again. But it's all a bit of like a mess of exposition that is both, too much and too vague, and doesn't give She-Hulk much of a character arc. And at the end of Ceremony, Jen basically winds up right back where she started. I wish I had enjoyed Ceremony more because there are plenty of pieces here with potential, and it just felt like for every one thing I like, there's two things I didn't like. And it's never bad, when a big 2-book spends, more than a cursory amount of time focusing on non-white characters. But Ceremony introduces Wyatt Wingfoot's sister and grandmother and gives them a good bit to do. So it would be dope to see, his Native American family, the whole family, like not just, the grandmother, the sister, everybody. And, however, it is a little frustrating that most of the role characters play is centered around mysticism, right? A trope that so many Marvel comics fall back on anytime the characters of Native American descent is included. Anytime there's a Native American character, it's always a shaman, right? Or some mystical, aspect, which is condescending in a way, and kind of, absurd. But like you said, Stu, we'll see how they handle it. It should be cool. Now Sensational is the other She-Hulk that's where we get into the like fourth wall breaking and all the fun shit. And fortunately, if I had just one thing to sum up Sensational She-Hulk, especially the first 8 issues before John Byrne was kicked off the book, it would be that it leaves an impression. And this book is very colorful. It's wacky. It's silly and fun in some places and dumb and nonsensical in other places. But I wouldn't necessarily say it all works, but I was never bored. Like, and all told, it feels like that like the book that comes from the creator throwing on every page a wild idea, that he's ever had, but has never been allowed to use, just like kind of a sandbox or just somewhere he can just try out all experimental shit. So, as She-Hulk, it opens with Jen training at a circus, which, is what's more fitting, for this series. And I think that this show is gonna teeter on, you know what I mean, the more serious relationship stuff, and then the crazy, wild, sensational, or the Sensational comic stuff. So it'll be cool, man, if we see a lot of cool wall breaking shit. But it's a lot, man. It's basically impossible not to view the first 12 issues of Sensational in distinct chunks. Burns issues, he's on the book through issue number 8, but there's equal parts fun and disorienting, and as the likes of Dr. Bong, you got Zimu, the space trucker, US Archer, and actually Santa Claus. Yeah, Nick St. Christopher is diminutive private investigator. So yeah, Santa Claus is like a big part too. So like, I'm not gonna be surprised if we see Santa Claus popping out in the show, but it's gonna be crazy. I bet real Mo Key we never get to see it, Reno. Like Stu says, Hollywood is not that smart.
In terms of what, Wyatt Wingfoot?
I think you mean Sada, do you think the She-Hulk show is gonna be better than Batwoman?
Ooh, that's tough. As of right now, yes, I do. But we'll see. Yeah, Norin just commented it'll definitely be higher budget, so I guess that'll hopefully lend towards some good storytelling. Right now,
and all you've seen is the trailer.
Yeah, so it's hard to like say for sure, but
yeah, that's yeah.
Because season 1 of Batwoman was just so abysmal. So
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was so bad. I couldn't even watch it.
Oh yeah, it was bad. It was really bad.
I tried to. I was just curious about it because I had seen Gotham and I was looking for some more Batman type stuff, and I put it on. I didn't know anything about the character at the time. Kind of thought it was going to be Barbara Gordon. I didn't really know the difference between Batwoman and Batgirl.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a big
different characters. Yeah.
Unfortunately, that show, it will not give you a good impression.
Batwoman was made because when you go back to the history, Batwoman was made to physically 100% be a female version of Bruce Wayne in every way.
Oh wow!
So that's why she's a rich billionaire. She's a rich billionaire, playboy, female. That's gay. Batgirl is actually part of the Bat family, which helps Batman fight crime in Gotham. So it's the same thing. It's just a little bit different. And back then in those days, they did that. Like if there was a male version of something, they made a female. Like we had Spider-Man, then they had Spider-Woman. The Hulk, She-Hulk, are their biggest characters. They always had a female version. Well, Marvel did anyway. They always put like female versions out of their biggest characters. What's your name did it too. Like Hawkman, Hawkwoman, male Green Lantern, female Green Lanterns. Batman, Batgirl, Batwoman. It's something they did back in the day, to try to sell more comics and toys. Oh, and to combat Barbie, because Barbie owned 100. Barbie owned 100% of the market, and if you could tap into that Barbie money, you good to go. Yeah, yeah, everything's all good.
Yeah.
Did y'all see the latest trailer for Thor: Love and Thunder?
Oh, see, no, I haven't caught it.
There's a new one.
Another trailer?
There's a new trailer out there. A couple of days ago.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
A couple of days ago. That's the one I was saying where they showed the Panther God.
Oh, okay. Because I saw the photo, but I figured it was just like a promotional image. I didn't know it was from the trailer.
Yeah, and that's they're linking that to Moon Knight and the Egyptian, the whole Egyptian god pantheon.
Yeah. I mean, because when you think about it, all of those shows that we saw actually link all these movies. I mean, it's crazy that I like the way they're doing it. Secret Invasion is supposed to take place during the blip.
They were saying that, which is odd. Kind of odd.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what. Yeah,
in theory, it's a great idea because they are, at their weakest point. But it's just like, if you're going to have it during the blip, you got to bring Captain America back. You got to bring Black Widow back. And I don't know if those actors are going to come back. And then, if Nick Fury is going to be a part of it, then they have to explain that. Like, ooh, I mean, I just hope they explain it all. But it sounds like a great idea.
from what I saw, they're gonna do. They're gonna dive into that story because when you think
Yeah.
about it, like I said, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they dive deep, and a lot of people complain about it because look at it like this: they talk about the blip. Just about every movie we saw after that Avengers movie, somebody says something about the blip, or
Yeah.
somehow
Yep.
something about the blip comes up. So for me watching, I'm like, well, damn, what did happen during? And it was what, 5 years?
Yeah, that was 5
Yeah.
So
years.
like, yeah, so we're like, well, damn, that's a lot. So like Sada said, they're at their weakest point. You could say, well, these heroes that were there, uh, they did what they had to do, you know, to fight off the secret invasion that was coming from the Skrulls. And we know the Skrulls and the Kree and all of that. We know they're always at each other's throats. But then that, spins off the Guardians of the Galaxy, Celestials. Like, there's a lot you could do with that. Nick Fury. Why was Nick Fury? Where he was
Oh
at.
yeah, that's right. They're gonna do a series for Captain Carter.
Yeah, they're talking about Captain Carter, and it's pissing a lot of people off, I guess, apparently, because a lot of people don't want to see Captain Carter. They're like, why?
Yeah,
Who
they
has
wasn't
to do
feeling. Yeah, they
that?
wasn't feeling the movie. A lot of people
Like,
weren't feeling the movie.
well, it's like what happened to Falcon, bro. Like that's supposed to be Captain America now. Why are we talking about Peggy Carter? We ain't talked about Falcon yet since that shit.
Yeah.
Like, where is the big? Like, when is he gonna be Captain America? Like, he's supposed to be Captain America, but when are we gonna see him as Captain America? When are they gonna talk about it or refer to it or
Because we don't have
anything?
anything on the fourth movie and when that's
No.
coming out. So,
Right.
but you want to give us Captain Carter?
Can you imagine, like, if Captain America 4 was about Captain Carter, people would fucking riot in the streets. But
That would be insane. Plot twist. Oh, that would
right
be
in the
insane.
street. What? They might
yeah,
fire. They might fire a rocket at the Marvel Studios building.
I'm saying.
Oh
They might,
no.
it'll go down. It
Oh,
would
did
not
you
be.
hear
It
about
would.
that, Sada, that the WB shut down the CW studios?
Really? Oh well, I mean, I know they were canceling all the shows on like the CW. I thought it was just them getting ready to sell it off because the network was
Nah, remember No, we talked about it last week. They did it
right.
because their lease was up and they didn't want to pay for. They didn't want to pay for the studios, so they just canceled the shows based on the fact that I don't know whatever studio space they rented, they weren't.
Yeah.
The lease was up like the end of this month, and they weren't paying for it. They just like,
Right.
we're good. Yeah, we're good. We're not renewing our lease.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. It's all about the bottom line. That's all they care about. They don't care
True.
about stories or none of that. They don't. The fuck do they care?
It's about the casual. It's about the casual audience, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
because the exec said the numbers don't matter. Like live viewership, they don't care about that. There's something else they said they don't care about, but it's like he says, it's about the casual audience.
Because it's like, I think I was talking about that show, The Offer, where they were talking about how they made The Godfather and all of that, and they showed a real good like example of how studios are strictly business. Like, for them, movies are a product. Like, that's it. It's like any company that sells a product. You've got these execs and the studio heads. They're not artists. They're not creatives. They're not directors, filmmakers, none of that shit. They're businessmen. They're salesmen. They're businessmen. They're like, oh, how much is this product going to make us? And if this product isn't making us money, that's what I'm saying, Slade.
Yeah, they are cutting like
we know you did call it a week ago. You did say that. Yeah. We know you did call that a week ago. Because that's true. When you break it down, I mean, look how bad. All right, look at like we keep talking about the Flash. They got to put out another DC movie. We haven't had a Superman movie since Man of Steel. We haven't had a Batman movie since The Batman. Look at all the trouble that went through, and they pushed and got that out and made a lot of money off of it. And now, before the movie came out, we don't know if it's going to be a part 2. But when it made the money it did, and the casual audience loved it, oh yeah,
Confirmed.
confirm. We gotta bring in. Oh, we gotta bring Patterson back. We gotta do this over again. But
Yeah.
and now they're gonna try to milk the cow. They're gonna be like, well, let's take our
Yeah.
time with this and see what we get with it.
They're
But
already trying to do it with Penguin. They have a spinoff for that. They got a
Yeah, they
spinoff
got a
for
show.
Gordon. They are
Yeah.
trying to
Right.
milk this.
Yeah.
because Hollywood, and then Hollywood's always monkey see, monkey do.
Mhm.
Like they
Cookie
did it
cutter,
with
whatever
Peacemaker,
worked
cookie
last
cutter,
time, do
whatever's
that
hot
again.
popping. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Peacemaker got his own spinoff, and everybody loved it. And they said there's another character. James won't say who it is that's getting his own spinoff show like Peacemakers. They just won't say who it is. It's coming
Oh,
soon.
they said what's her name? Waller was gonna get her own spinoff too. They said she was.
That would be dope.
That
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
And it surprises me that they cut Wonder Twins because that's exactly what they, you know what I'm saying? Like Peacemaker was a wacky, funny comedy type show, and so was Wonder Twins gonna be, and that's exactly what they did with like Guardians of the Galaxy. When that shit came out, it was a huge hit. They didn't know if it was gonna be a hit. They didn't expect it to be a hit. It was a real experiment. This was a team that most fans or audiences or just people never heard of, and it was a smash hit. And so every fucking Marvel movie after that was a damn comedy. It was none of them before was a comedy. Everything
comedy,
after
nah.
Guardians is a
Nah,
comedy.
not as heavy.
Right after Guardians, everything
Yep.
gotta have that little comedic spin on it. Like Guardians
Yep.
was a serious movie that had that. It just had that hint of comedy. That
It was funny, but it was still dope. But then
Right.
every other movie after that that was supposed to be serious and originally would have been serious or more serious just was like all about the funny jokes and all about the jokes. And I feel like they pushed it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we was talking about that, Shadow. Yeah. And it sucks. It really sucks because
it really does. It really does.
yeah, and that's just Hollywood doing that cookie cutter thing. It's like, oh, this worked, let's do that again. Fuck trying something new, because you know why? Because the studio execs at the top, like I said, they're just about that product. It's that product sells, let's make more of that product.
Let's
It
make more
says
of that product. Yep.
Yeah.
You're right,
That's all.
Reno. Because it's like you did it good, but I can do it better. Even though yours was good, not saying that it wasn't, but mine's is better. It's like that, and then they put it out. I mean, do something. I mean, but when they do something original, and remember too, whenever Hollywood does something original, it's always some independent director or somebody who just has this idea that's like, like they woke up in the middle of the night, like Jay-Z's album 444. Like I woke up at 444 in the morning and I wrote Star Wars, and I didn't stop until I got it produced. It was the greatest thing since Pockets on Pants. That's the truth. That's how it goes. It's not Hollywood that does that. When we got Star Wars, Hollywood would have never approved the Star Wars. George Lucas had to put that out on his own.
Right.
And look how big it is.
Right. And exactly. And yeah, but yeah. Bloodsport Walking Alone. I don't know, Lito. What are they alluding to, my man? What do you think it could be?
It could be Bloodsport, man. Because Idris Elba. Everybody loves Idris Elba.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's very marketable.
I seen Rock. He started shooting Shazam.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
He is like, I'm telling you from the back, bro. My man is bro. Like, oh my god. I was like,
Rock is looking fat. He's looking huge.
Now, are they gonna give him the pointy ears? Because I haven't seen pointy ears.
He kind of had him a little bit in the video that he posted on
Instagram. It's just like he's got a pointy head too. Like
that's true.
He's got like a pointy head that makes me feel, and it's like I don't want to see bald Black Adam. Like Black Adam has hair. He looks better with hair, black hair.
Yeah,
but he's gonna do the Rock. He's got to do his own version. But yeah, he's looking seriously beefed up to the max to take Norrin Rad's vernacular.
Yes, yeah, he is.
Are you guys surprised he decided to go with DC over a Marvel character due to the relationship with Disney? That's true. He does have a relationship.
I mean, I'm not really surprised. I think he's always talked about like wanting to play Black Adam in some
He has.
fashion,
Yeah,
and fans have kind of wanted that too. So yeah, I'm not really surprised that he chose this particular role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, who? Let's look at it like this. Even in the chat, who do y'all think in the Marvel universe, throughout the whole Marvel universe, comic book universe, who do y'all think The Rock would be good as playing? Like, who would you picture The Rock being? That's
Yeah,
that's
that's
you know that's
a good I mean,
anybody
besides
in the chat,
characters they've
or
already
the
had.
yeah,
Yeah, I
or the
mean,
Illuminati right here, or in the chat. Just throw it out there. Throw it out there. Who you think The Rock could play? What about you? What about you, Vino?
I'm looking over here at the Marvel characters on my wall.
Vino said I had to take a look. No, wait, I gotta take a look. Wait a minute.
I'm looking at the big dudes. Like you got dudes like the Hulk, like Scar, like the other Hulk auxiliary characters. The big dudes. That rock with Hulk or fight Hulk or whatever. But there's really nobody that I think fits as well as Black Adam. I think it's just perfect. And I didn't know that he always talked about playing Black Adam. So it surprises me that he even knows who Black Adam is.
Oh yeah.
Like, I didn't even know
he
that.
had talked about it. He was like really, really excited, and I think he was like, when fans were kind of like fan casting, he was like, "Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I like it."
Okay, so Shadow, he said The Thing, Juggernaut.
You know what? I could see him as Executioner.
Cook said Namor. I don't know Cook's about Namor because Namor, he's more of a slim.
Yeah, he's kind of slim.
White dude, like real pale.
He's
dude.
he's got a smaller frame, but he's muscular. He's real muscular.
He's small frame, but he's lean. Yeah, he's like lean.
He's like super muscular, but he ain't like overly muscular, but he does have a smaller frame.
But he could pull it off if he slimmed down and they made Namor Hispanic. I think they're changing Namor to be Mexican or something like that. That's going to be part of his new origin. So he'll be Mexican, Latino. So, and The Rock could play Latino if he slimmed down enough. I mean, he could play Namor as Latino if he slimmed down enough. It could happen. Laugh my ass off. Imagine the next MCU crossover with The Rock and Vin Diesel group.
Oh man, that would be amazing. With their beef,
that would be good. That would be crazy.
Oh, that would be so good.
Somebody said The Thing, huh?
Yeah,
I can see him as Executioner. I think that's it though. I can't think of anyone else.
That's why I said it. I mean, Apocalypse. Yeah, I can go with Apocalypse. I can go with Apocalypse. I can see that.
Okay.
Colossus. I can see Colossus. Yeah.
Maybe without like the pointy head. Give him a
little You gotta get Rock. Come on, man. You gotta.
He said that would be an insult to The Rock to lose his muscles.
Oh yeah, he would never.
Oh yeah, dude. He wouldn't slim down for shit.
Gladiator. Somebody said Gladiator.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why it's interesting that he's gonna be Black Adam. He's kind of like a little bit of that. So
a bad guy. Yeah, I really just would like to see The Rock as a bad guy. I mean, Kingpin. Like I don't know, but it just I would rather see him as more of an alien, like of some type. In Marvel,
or like a Sensational, maybe like something like that,
or Red Hulk, or somebody. Like, I'm looking at this.
But you know what? Because you got to think too. The guy that played. So that's another thing they got to address too. The guy that played Thaddeus Ross.
Yeah,
Hercules. Yeah, he could pass as Hercules. Yeah, he could pass as Hercules. Yeah. The guy that played Thaddeus Ross in the movies, he died. Remember, he passed away. So who's going to be Thunderbolt Ross?
He was kind of behind the scenes with everything too. He was kind of important. So I don't know how they're gonna address that too. That's a good point.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, he would have been. Yeah, and that's. But I don't. But yeah, I wouldn't really want to see him as Hulk because Thaddeus Ross. I mean, to play it's not like back in the day where they had Lou Ferrigno to be the Hulk because they had to have a guy be that monster. Now it's a CGI thing, so you don't have to have a big guy to play those big characters anymore. But Gladiator, yes, is a beast. Like that dude is crazy powerful. Do not sleep on Gladiator.
Oh
Guy
yeah.
with the mohawk.
Don't sleep on
Insane.
Hercules either. I think Hercules,
Yeah,
because
no.
he's played Hercules. Didn't he play Hercules before?
I feel like he did.
Yeah.
I feel like he did.
Didn't he? Wasn't he that Hercules?
Yeah, wasn't he
It
like
was like
Hercules?
like a
Yeah,
Let
Hercules
me
it was,
remake.
see.
it
The
was like a
Rock.
one shot. Yeah, like a remake. Yeah, because
Yeah, it was like
I'm telling you, he could do Hercules, and he could
Yeah,
fight the
in
Hulk. 'Cause,
2014. He was
yeah,
Hercules.
he was
yeah, he did.
Hercules,
He
bro.
did. He was
He could do
Hercules.
Hercules again. Yeah, he could do Hercules again.
Bring him back.
Deathlock.
Deathlock would be good. He could do Deathlock.
Mhm.
Yeah, he could do Deathlock.
He could have done a lot of characters, but honestly, I'm happy it's Black Adam. I think that's
Yeah.
perfect. I still want to see him put some hair on him, but it is what it is. But yeah, I think he'll be dope as Black Adam.
Yeah, me too.
But I just I really want to. I'm hoping he's gonna be good. And yeah, Absorbing Man is a good one.
That would be the best
Gladiator
one.
can only be
Absorbing,
competed.
because look, you ain't got to put no hair on him to be Absorbing Man. Absorbing
right.
Man ain't got no hair.
That's true.
Yeah,
Hey,
he can rock his ball head. Yeah, but I think he's gonna be good. I'm curious. Like I don't know if he's gonna kill it. Like I'm still on the fence if he's gonna be able to pull off Black Adam or not.
Yeah.
If he does his rock thing or acts goofy or it's just gonna ruin it because Black Adam is super fucking serious and super mean and you know what I mean? Like he's just a
It's
bad
gonna
motherfucker.
require him to actually act and
Yeah.
not coast,
He have to go
yeah,
out of his way.
Black Adam's arrogant.
Yeah.
He's powerful. He's arrogant. He's powerful. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like he has literally taken on the whole Justice League and almost won. Like I'm keeping it a buck, man. Like the trailer I sent you, side of the one for the DC Universe joint.
Yeah.
You see Black Adam giving out work in that trailer. He giving Green Lantern work. Yeah, Green Lantern was. It's like I don't know if I'm gonna survive this.
That's the
Yeah,
one
he
where he was he wanted to be a member of the Justice League or something. There was some point where he was like, I want to be a good guy. Like he wanted to be a good guy now. He wanted to be on the Justice League. Do y'all know? Y'all see that?
Remember? Nah, I never seen that.
Yeah,
I read a comic where I know he took him on. He took him on in the comic. I know that. But I can see that because they've been trying to make Black Adam kind of good for years, man. Like, put him in that neutral role.
Like
Put him in that neutral role. Yeah, but that's not Black Adam, man. It's not Black Adam.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. I feel like in my spirit, though, The Rock, he can do it. He can pull off that arrogance that Black Adam has.
Yeah, I think he can too.
I feel like he can do it. So I'm gonna hold out hope, please, please.
Yeah. Black Adam, is he a villain or a hero? No, we know who he is, but there was some situation where he wanted to be in the Justice League and they wouldn't let him because they were like he was good, but they were like, we know that you could easily become bad again. And so they weren't gonna let him, and he was pissed. I swear to God, it might even be a cartoon, but it might be a comic. I'll try to find this right quick. Black Adam was always going to be in the new Justice League. The new roster. Yeah, the once villainous Black Adam joining the roster of the new Justice League was always part of the plan, according to the creators. Brian Michael Bendis and artist Dave Marquez about their upcoming run on Justice League and Black Adam's surprising role on the team. For Bendis writing the book, came to me editorially. And I don't know if this is that thing that I saw, but yeah, they turned him to like a good guy.
I can see that.
Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know why.
I like Black Adam. That's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite DC characters, man. Black Adam.
Yeah.
I mean, because I like Shazam. I'm a Shazam fan, but I do like Black Adam. Yeah, I'm a fan of Shazam. I've always been a fan of Shazam. Over Superman. I've always picked Shazam over Superman.
Yeah, I never got into Shazam. I mean, I never got into DC besides Batman, but
I got
Black
into
Adam.
Shazam a little bit, but I was definitely more into Superman.
Shazam is dope.
Yeah.
Shazam is dope, man. Like I don't care what nobody say, man.
That
Shazam is.
Superman Shazam short. Come
I
on.
read a comic a few years back where Superman was saying how Shazam is more powerful than he realizes. And even
Yeah,
more
because he's a
powerful than
little
him.
kid.
Yeah.
Right.
Because he's a kid.
Yeah.
But like they're saying, like if he grew up or like when he grows up, he'll be more powerful.
Oh yeah.
Well, he's more powerful now, but Superman just was like he just doesn't realize it. Like Superman was basically like if he went to his full potential, like if he knew how he's like he got me.
He
But
go
he don't.
put
But he
in the
was
work.
saying, yeah. But he was saying because he doesn't, he was saying he was like because he doesn't, that's why he'll never like he can never really, take me out because he doesn't realize his full potential. And he doesn't as but they chose Billy Batson for that reason. Because that's the difference between him and Black Adam. Black Adam realizes his potential. He realizes how much damage he can do and how powerful he truly is. That's why he's so arrogant. And when the wizard chose Black Adam, I mean, not well, he didn't choose him, but that's a whole different story. We'll get to that because it's two different origins. But basically, once he knew how powerful he was pretty much like, you know what, screw the wizard. Like I'm just as powerful as he is, and he started killing them off because there was a whole council of them. And he started
The
killing them
wizard.
off one by one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just started knocking them all off. So, Shazam is like Soup said, if he realized how powerful he was, it's a lot he could do. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a
That's
lot.
the thing. That's the thing about him being a kid. Like he doesn't realize his potential yet. That's kind of. But this is Black Adam in the new Justice League. Which look, Superman's all off to the side. You know what I'm saying?
Who cares about him?
And I mean, like Superman is normally in the middle of the Justice League, but this time got Black Adam in the middle. That's the new Justice League. Yeah,
it's like Black Canary, some other people, Wonder Woman.
Right. And when they say Shazam, right? And when they say Shazam and they summon that lightning, that's a lot, man. That's when he focuses everything. So for him, it just turns him into either Black Adam or Shazam. But if it hits somebody else, they're pretty much done for.
They're cooked.
Yeah, they're cooked. Yeah,
that trailer you
said
for the DC Universe Online game, I mean, that'll show you right there. Cooked.
Yeah, you're done. You get hit with that, But like I said, DC always finds a way to make Superman a little more powerful than everybody else.
Always.
Unfortunately, in animation, they nerf the shit out of Superman.
Right. Do you have to because
you
have to because because the comic books don't. They don't. But there are a bunch of heroes. There are a bunch of people in the DC universe who will whip Superman down to the white meat without a problem. So but they don't ever show those characters in mainstream. They're like the Celestials or like what's the one we hate, Reno? The Eternals. like that. Yeah. So, but like I said, when you go to Black Adam and Captain Marvel, and you think about their powers, like, okay, you go, well, S is what? Solomon. He has the wisdom of Solomon, which means that he can outthink just about anybody. He can, he's a good tactician. He's vast knowledge. He's got an eclectic memory. Things like that, man. Like you got to think about that. Hercules, the strength of Hercules. As far as we know, Hercules was the strongest there was. And then and he has the stamina of Atlas, which means he don't get tired. Superman gets tired. You can beat Superman down. He'll get tired after a while, And then he's got the power of Zeus. Zeus was the most powerful god ever. Courage of Achilles. We know Achilles was the most bravest fighter in the history of, the Roman Empire. And then the speed of Mercury, which means he's super fast, which means he can keep up with Flash. But I don't know about that because Flash's Speed Force is the fastest you can go in the DC universe.
Yeah.
Now that, Reno, I'm never gonna understand how they can pit Superman against Flash in a race. Flash can outrun him.
I mean,
I don't get it.
Yeah,
I don't
man. It's just like you said, man. That's their golden boy. You know, Superman. That's their whatever the fuck. You know, their poster boy. So they're always gonna make him win, kind of thing. Which is, you know, it pissed a lot of people off and almost ruined the character. A lot of people almost, you know, just stopped fucking with Superman altogether. So they actually killed him, and that's what brought people back. You know,
say, all right,
Yeah.
go on, cool.
No, it is Sada. It is why they killed it, because a lot of people were writing in back in the day. Sada, when you would read a comic, they had a section in the back you can mail in letters. If you ever read an older comic,
I see
people
those,
would write in. Yeah, they would write in and be like, "Yo, like Superman sucks.
yeah,
Like when are y'all gonna kill this guy? Like,
yeah, he can't
yeah,
die. It's boring to watch this. You know, it's just boring to read a book about someone you know. There's no stakes. You know, they're not gonna lose. They can't die. You know, so like it becomes boring. What else can we do with this character, kind of thing? And so at that point, it's like, all right, well, let's kill him and make a new one. So they had all these, right? They had Steel. There was like a cyborg one. There was Superboy. There was like all these different iterations. And yeah, the fan letters in the back. Norrin. Yeah.
Look, Lito know. He's like, yeah. I mean, and they're interesting to read. Like, you look at them, you like, damn. Like some people write in, they write some books back there. Yeah, they write some books back there. And you gotta agree with. Yeah, sometimes like with Jason Todd. He took a poll because a lot of people liked him and a lot of people hated him. So DC was like, well, mail us in some letters. We'll take a poll.
Should we kill him or should we
kill him?
Wait,
or should we keep him alive?
It was but it was but it was something else too. It was like kill him or something, and they voted to kill him.
They voted to kill him. Yeah, like get rid of this joke. Like get rid of this clown.
Joker beat him to death with a crowbar. That's why
it was like get rid of this clown.
Yeah, fans.
Yeah, it was like
it was a number that you could call and vote. Kill him.
Oh yeah, kill him.
Oh my god. That's so funny how they listened to the fans back then. But
and Sada back then, Sada, that was 99 cents a call. A lot of money back then.
Yeah.
You had some people calling back 10 times. Some people, for the first. Some people spent $10.
Like $5.99 or $9.99 for the first minute, and like $1 every minute after that. Fucking 900 numbers.
Oh yeah. That was crazy.
900 numbers.
Yeah. Well, going back to Black Adam, he has the stamina of Sue, because remember he used the Egyptian gods and not the Greek gods.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then he has the swiftness of Horus. That's why he usually gives Superman a run for his money. He has the strength of Amon. I mean, the wisdom of Zeluth or Zalak. He has the power of Aten and the courage of Mihan. I mean, so we'll see how they handle the Rock with that, man, because he can do a lot.
It just depends on how Rock plays it.
Yeah, that's true.
If he plays it as the Rock's Black Adam, I'm gonna hate it. But if he really goes into his acting chops, and
I mean, the little teaser we got was not that bad. It was pretty damn good, actually. But we'll see.
Yeah, exciting. Yeah. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be cool. Speaking of Black Adam, Captain America's had a black shield at one point. I did not know this. See that shield? It's like a black shield with a star, but
that's new to me too. Is that the stealth Captain America?
Yeah, is that what that
is? Actually in the darkest continuation of Marvel Comics' original Civil War storyline, Captain America's black shield still revealed his true loyalties. That because during the overarching Universal reboot event that was 2015 Secret Wars, the conflict that ripped the superhero community in two over government registration was taken even further, where America itself was split in two. There was two sides of America. There was Iron Man took a side, and it was called the Iron, and Captain America and his followers took the West, and it was called the Blue. And the Iron was a place of like law and order where superhumans were trained and monitored by SHIELD agents, and the Blue was founded as a territory of total freedom as long as its residents helped rather than harmed each other, lest they face the wrath of the punishers. And after years of war, the truth finally comes out that the conflict was exacerbated in secret by the Skrulls. They were, doing this. So who intervened anytime Stark and Rogers attempted to make peace, right? So, like, we're gonna get Secret Wars in the MCU. It's gonna be in the Skrulls. The Secret Wars is the Skrulls manipulating shit from the shadows, right? Because they can look like anybody. So whenever these two warring factions of the country attempted to like find, a common ground, the Skrulls would always like throw in a fucking little monkey wrench or just to keep the shit going. And but culminating in a final battle between the Iron and the Blue in Civil War Warzones #5, from Charles Soule, which great writer. Steve Rogers led his forces wearing blue armor devoid of the classic red and white stripes. Likewise, his shield was painted all black to represent the idea that there was no longer a united country for him to represent. Like he was no longer Captain America. But the black paint gradually scratched off as the battle went on, revealing the red and white stripes underneath, proving that deep down Rogers desired to see his nation whole again. And I think that, let me see if I got that picture. Yeah, so check it out. So this is the shield. You see how I had the black paint and it's like sort of rubbing off.
It's rubbing off, yeah.
And then he's smashing into Iron Man there, but this is like probably. Oh, my bad, dog. You was trying to see it.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at that. Who's he fighting there? Who is that? Oh, that's Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is. I think this is where we're gonna get the Skrulls and the Secret Wars, and I mean, we already did Civil War, which they really just grazed over Civil War.
I know that kind of is bittersweet because I think like the setup was great, but then
but then the whole thing was like a fight on the airport.
Yeah, and then and nothing that happens in that movie means anything because the next time we see the Avengers is Infinity War. So who cares about the laws or whatever when Thanos is here? Yeah. And it's just never brought up again. I felt like that movie should have been like 2 parts or something.
Well, yeah, because Secret War or the Civil War shit, leads into so much other shit. Like, and it goes so deep, and it's the whole nation divided. And I mean, factions. They like I said, they touched on it in the movie, but it didn't. It should have led into like Secret Wars and Battle World and the whole thing and Skrulls and all of that. But they I feel like they ended it. They should have saved the Civil War storyline for when they were ready to do Secret Wars and all of that, so it could have led into it and been the whole part of this big thing. But back to following an epic fight with Stark, the truth about the Skrulls playing both sides comes out, and a revelation that sees Iron Man and Captain America working together to end the war and reunite the country, giving their lives in the process, like they die. All in all, the visual representation of Rogers' black shield is a powerful visual symbol, serving as a great metaphor for Steve's loyalties. And while he initially appears to have chosen one side and looks ready to destroy the other, the Sentinel of Liberty proves that he's still, for all of America and its people as a whole, the second the chips were down. But when you scratch the surface, Captain America's loyalties are always constant. It's why he ultimately surrendered the original Civil War storyline. He surrendered in the thing because I was surprised. Like when I first heard about Civil War through the video game Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2.
Yeah, I have the first one, not the second one.
Oh wow, I actually had the comics. I actually have the actual comics. I read all of them. Yeah, I read all of them.
I read the whole shit. But the way I heard about it was that game, and I was like, "Oh, this is deep." Yeah, I was like, "This is deep. This shit is deep." So I went and that's how I found the comics and shit. But it goes deep, man. It was a really dope story, and they could have, great game, dude.
Yeah, the first one,
It was a good game.
amazing game. Oh man,
First one was phenomenal.
yeah.
The second one was good, but it like I don't know, it just didn't have the vast like kind of scope of the first one. I felt that it was a little bit smaller. The third one, Ultimate Alliance, that they just put out on Nintendo Switch, I play it all the time. It's cool.
Oh,
And it's
okay.
dope. Yeah, they got all kind of new
Yeah, I
characters.
played it too. Yeah,
Yeah, like
we
Cable's
gotta
on
link up on
there.
that joint, Reno.
Moon Knight. Yeah, we should, bro. Cause my shit is max, bro. My characters are gods, bro.
Did you use the cheat to get them up that high, or you
No.
grinded it out?
Yeah, no, I just played the shit out of it.
Or you grinded it out.
I'm
All
still
right.
grinding
Yeah.
on the first game. To get
There
all
was a
my
glitch because
characters
there was a
90.
glitch. Yeah, there was a glitch on that where you could have got them. Yeah, you could have got them all up to 99 real fast.
Yeah,
like effortlessly. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
they
yeah. On
patched
the
it though.
first,
Yeah, they patched it though. Yeah.
You're still playing the first one, Sada?
yeah. Because I never
cool.
got the I don't have the
It's on-
Switch, so I'll never have the third one.
Well, are you playing it on? It's on the original Xbox, right? The first Xbox.
Well, I have the one I have is on the PS2. I have the PS2 in my room.
Okay,
so
that's the equivalent of the original Xbox.
yeah. So I play that one, and they have a bunch of cheats on that one. Like you can get all your characters to level 99, God mode, which is invincible.
Yeah, there's cheats, all kind of cheat codes.
Yeah, it is better.
And yeah,
that is true Lito way. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
way better Lito's way. Yeah, way better.
And the characters are this big, and it's aerial view. But Marvel is all about the graphics. They look great, and they're big dudes on the screen. It looks phenomenal, but the game is just boring. It just sucks. It's just repetitive. It just basically sucked. Ultimate Alliance was just great. It just had
the Ultimate Alliance was great.
The first, but you know what I loved even better because I'm a mutant guy. X-Men Legends. It's the same. Yeah, it's laid out the same. It's just like Ultimate Alliance, but it's all mutants.
Yes, that shit is so great.
I love that shit. The second one is like the Apocalypse one.
Yep.
And yeah, bro, that's my favorite shit. That's really my favorite shit. But yeah, yeah, bro. X-Men Legends. Yeah, it's called X-Men Legends. There's Legends and there's Legends too.
All right, now what about the Wolverine movie? What about the Wolverine game?
Well, that's pretty much all we got. We kept that picture.
Not the new one. Not the new one. The one that was on PS2.
I never.
Or 3. Is it PS2 or 3? There was one on PS3.
I think
you mean
it was
the one that's based on the movie, like the Fox?
No, not that one.
Talking about.
Yeah, I guess the character is, but not the game. Like, remember you could use his senses, and he fought Wendigo in the beginning and all of that.
Yeah.
So they said Rise of the Apocalypse. Yeah, remember Wolverine had his own game.
Rise of the Apocalypse.
Wasn't it like Wolverine's Revenge or something like that? Was that the one, or am I thinking of something?
I think it was. It was something like that. Yeah, but he had his own game. It wasn't bad. As remember, Deadpool had a game too. Now that was wildly popular.
That's a great fucking game.
Yeah, a lot of people played that game. A lot of people was playing that. And it was slept on too.
Yeah, bro.
It was good.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah. No, there. I think you're talking about X-Men, X2 Wolverine's Revenge.
X2, that's it. Yep.
Yeah, that's the one. I don't remember playing that one, but I looked at gameplay and it looked good.
Yeah, it's based on the movie. It's got Hugh Jackman on the cover.
Yep.
And it's Wolverine's Revenge. And then before that, there's X, the official game.
Yep, which is horrible. And remember, they had a Captain America game too. Captain America had a game too. It's one on the Wii. It's one on PS2.
Yeah, Iron Man had a good one too.
The Iron Man game was the bomb. I'm not gonna lie.
It was so dope.
The one I had on the Wii was kind of, but I've seen it on other
They
systems.
need to do they need to do an HD remake of that because I like that game. I played that hardcore. Yes, it was
fun. It looked great. Yeah, it played great. That was just
the best superhero game to date that ever came out besides Spider-Man and Batman is Hulk. It's the Hulk game. Ultimate Smash. That was the best. Hulk set the standard because before Hulk, they were all hit and miss. And then Batman was the one that every game was tried to be. But Hulk, Ultimate Smash, that was dope.
Oh, you're not talking about Captain America old school beat 'em up? There
Yes,
was
sir.
an
Yes,
old
I
school
am.
beat 'em
There
up,
was.
like an
Yeah, there was a
arcade
Captain
game.
America.
It
That's
was an
dope
arcade.
too. That's the dope.
Yeah,
That's
there
the
was
dope
like an
one by
arcade.
Midway. I think it was like Midway or somebody made that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah,
dope.
these are my favorite shits right here. X-Men Legends and X-Men Legends 2: The Rise of Apocalypse. Because
Yep.
it's
So
just like
good.
Ultimate Alliance, but all mutants, Brotherhood, the whole shit. Phenomenal. Great care, like all the care. And what's cool about those games is if you don't know shit about comics, you'll learn so much shit about comics. You'll learn all about the characters, you'll learn about the stories, the backstories, the old
Yep.
storylines,
Oh
because
yeah,
it's
definitely.
Same with Ultimate Alliance because they have like the little
exactly
trivia section where you can
trivia
learn.
section in
Yeah,
the
you
hub.
can even like play like comic books like as a level or whatever. Like it's really cool.
Yep. There's little like mini games and shit and like trivia where they ask you a bunch of questions and you don't know the answers, but as you answer, there's multiple choice, so you end up learning shit. And I used to get in debates with my friend, and all he knew about comics was from those games. So that was the source of all his knowledge.
That was it.
But yeah, but you know, it was enough where we could debate some shit. But that's what I'm saying. Like it's a lot. Um, Iron Fist's disgusting new powers are more hardcore than Wolverine's. What is this about? I just seen this article. He has disgusting new powers.
Go get that.
Hey, let us know because I know Wolverine is the man right now. I don't know
Yeah.
anybody more
In Marvel
hardcore than
Comics,
Wolverine.
Wolverine's powers are famous for being delightfully disgusting, but the new Iron Fist gives Logan a run for his money on this front. Lin Lee, formerly known as Swordmaster, is Marvel's new Iron Fist, and his powers work completely differently than any Iron Fist before him. Rather than generating energy from his own chi, Lin Lee's Iron Fist draws power from the shards of the sword of Fu Zai embedded in his forearms. And the latest issue of Iron Fist gives fans the gnarliest show of Lee's powers, yet easily solidifying him as Marvel's most hardcore superhero. This is a bold statement. Um, let's see this. So I guess you're seeing like the swords bust out of his arms, like Wolverine's claws, kind of like that, instead of
Oh yeah. I'm trying to see.
uh,
Is he
shun-
pulling it out of both it? Oh, the shards. Oh, he's pulling the shards out. Yeah.
it says, yeah, pieces of the sword got stuck in his arms when the weapon shattered in his hands. Since then, Lee has been trying to protect the remaining pieces of the sword from his enemies who seek to use it to resurrect Qiyu, the ancient Chinese god of war. Originally, Lai's ancestor had wielded the sword of Fu Zhai to subdue Qiyu centuries ago, making the weapon similar to Black Knight's ebony blade sword, with its emphasis on family history. And while the sword of Fu Zhi has been proven to be effective against a number of foes, including Null, it is imperative that it never be used to bring Qiyu back from the back to the land of living. Um, in Iron Fist number 3, Lin Lai and his allies are ambushed by Kunlun, where a demon allied with Qiyu attacks the home where Lai had stashed some of his sword shards. When the monster gives Lai an ultimatum of handing the sword shards over or letting his friends die, Lee opts to grab the shards and shove them into his flesh on his hands and forearms. So he literally shoves the swords into his flesh. Though it brings him excruciating pain at first, the extra shards in his arms give him the edge to swiftly defeat Cheyu's servant by punching through his body. Iron Fist 3 is written by Elise. Considering that Lee has no healing factor, his decision to stab himself with pieces of the sword are undeniably hardcore, and is in keeping with the current tenor of Iron Fist comics. Because Lai's power come through the cost of physical injury, he provides a more brutal spin on Wolverine's claws because his wounds don't heal. Yeah, it sounds interesting, and I bet the comic is dope. From what I understand about the new Iron Fist. Iron Fist and Sword Master, he has dual powers. I'm sorry, research. Oh, but that is badass. Yeah, I mean, Yeah, Norrin Radd, Sword is embedded in it. The new comic, the new version of Iron Fist is supposed to be really dope. Because I think Iron Fist has needed a sort of like research, a revitalization
Mm.
ever since
He does. He did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really did. He really did need to be modernized a little bit. I mean,
But thus
not just
far,
me.
Lin Lai's Iron Fist has brought the mantle to new heights, while also staying true to the chaotic humor that the character has had since the days as Swordmaster. So I guess when he was Swordmaster, he was like a chaotic comedian or whatever. But by
Yeah,
stabbing himself with pieces of the sword, Iron Fist redeemed what having lethal weapons in as hands can look like, providing the perfect gnarly battle sequence even Wolverine would be jealous of.
yeah. There you go. Well, you got to remember, Reno. When it comes to comedic humor, Deadpool kind of set the tone for that
Oh
in
yeah.
Oh yeah,
comedy,
yeah,
and
for sure.
everybody was trying to cookie cut Deadpool without breaking the fourth wall. You know, so that would be.
I'm sorry, Reno, but that is badass. No, I'm saying it's badass. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's dope. That shit is brutal.
Yeah, it is brutal. Yeah,
Yeah, that
I
shit
have
is
to agree
wicked.
with that.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you can see him right there, stabbing himself in the forearm.
yeah.
Mm.
Great new
See,
look.
that's the one we want to see. That's the Iron Fist we want to see.
Yeah, this is Lin Lai. This is this guy here. So I guess you see his hands, his wrists are wrapped up and shit. He's got the
Mhm.
swords in there. Looks like something's
Yeah, that's the
breaking
one.
over his wrist. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
yeah. I
that's the
think
one
I'm
we want to see.
yeah, I have one too. I have that new Iron Fist. So I
See,
guess I'm gonna read that. Yeah, I'm gonna read that. It
I
looks
might have to
dope
get that. I might have to pick that up. Check that out.
for sure.
I've been really kicking it with Batman and Superman World's Finest. This week the newest issue comes out where they combine the two superheroes together to make a new hero.
The world's finest shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely want to read that. It'd be a World's Finest #4. I
Yeah,
definitely want to
world's
see that.
finest is getting a lot of good like reviews. People saying it's really good.
It is, bro. That's
I
the
have
hype.
I
There
think
you
I have
go.
number one. Yeah, I got
Yeah, I
number
got
one.
one through. I got
Right
1,
here.
2, and 3. I have 1, 2, and 3, but I don't have 4 yet.
I think I got it somewhere in this stack. It's a bunch of new shit. We got the new Ghost Rider joint,
Ooh.
which I'm
That's
happy
dope.
that Johnny Blaze is back as Ghost Rider because I don't like that Ron. Ghost
I
Rider
don't
is
like
supposed to
Robbie Reyes.
he's
You don't
not
like
supposed to
Robbie
be in a
Reyes?
car, dude. Like that's like Ghost Rider in a car. Supposed to have a motorcycle.
Fast and Furious. Listen, Fast and Furious influenced a lot, bro. I
Yeah,
mean, that's all I can tell
for
you.
sure.
You know.
That is correct.
Yeah.
As someone who loves those movies, that is correct.
That's true.
There it is.
Every time you anywhere, that's why
And this is
everybody
a
buys
dope
Honda
cover.
Accords now. That's dope.
Yeah, this is a
Yeah, that
dope
cover
cover.
will forever be just amazing.
I love this cover.
Though I can't find mine. I got the one with Batgirl and Supergirl on the
Nice.
cover.
Woo.
I love it because it's that blue and gray Batman suit. I just love, and even Superman looks badass.
Yeah, when we
And
gonna
that's
get the
world's
blue and
finest.
gray Batman super again, man? We,
Never.
we need that. We need that in our
Can we get
lives,
it in a
man.
movie, please? Yeah.
Yeah,
Can we
Never.
get a live action blue and gray? No, not gonna
with
happen.
the yellow belt and the yellow symbol. That'd be so dope, man.
Oh,
Even
that
this
was
looks.
amazing.
This has like a kind of almost like a beige belt and the black bat symbol on the chest, but it's still
Mm-hmm.
dope. because it's got the blue cowl and cape and the gray suit. I mean, they don't have to go with the bright yellow, but it would be dope if they
I
did.
would love if they
I'll
did.
take the bright yellow, bro.
Hell
They
yeah.
should have did that for Flashpoint. Shoot, have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give me a 90-minute movie. Batman with the blue and the blue and gray with the yellow symbol, the yellow belt.
Mhm.
I'll take it. Yeah. I won't ask for nothing else after that.
Nice.
Blaze.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, and then they have a new X-Men joint, Knights of X.
Yeah, I meant to ask you about that. Did you read that? Yeah.
Nice. It's some I think it's some like medieval or sorcery, because you got the Excalibur people, but Shatterstar's in here. Oh, I did read this. Yeah, I did start reading this. It's dope. Yep, with Shatterstar and them. You got the new Han Solo and Chewbacca. I have not read yet, but that
I've been reading those. They're good. I've been reading them.
Yeah.
They're good.
These
Yeah,
are
I
really
take
dope.
mine off.
Sabretooth are really dope. The new Sabretooth comic is really dope. Look at that art.
Yeah, I haven't been able to find that damn comic, man, but I want to read it. What number is it on yet?
I think it's on 3. This is 2. I think it's on 3. This is Shadow War Alpha.
Now, see, I like Sabretooth the way everybody else likes Wolverine.
Sabretooth is great. He's
I think Sabretooth's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, like the way everybody likes Wolverine, they're Wolverine fans. I'm a Sabretooth fan.
Yeah,
My sister's a huge Wolverine fan, actually. It's really funny.
I don't know what this
and
is. We about to see, because it looks like we got Batman right there with Deathstroke in the background, and it looks like he's carrying.
Oh, what number is that? What number is
that? Robin's torn up costume.
What number is that?
It's Shadow War Alpha 1.
Okay, that's where Ra's al Ghul was killed by Deathstroke, and Batman has to find him and find his killer, and that's when we find out that Deathstroke had a baby by Talia Ghul, and that baby is heir to the throne of, Ra's al Ghul. So, it's actually really, really, really good. Like, it's really good.
Why is Damian Wayne crying? Oh, he's saved. Oh, so who dies?
I can't tell you that. I can't tell you. It'll ruin it for you.
You don't know? Oh, you don't want to ruin it.
His grandfather died. Well, his grandfather died for one.
Ra's al Ghul, yeah.
Yeah, Ra's died for one.
Yeah, Deathstroke takes him out, blows him up, shoots him in the forehead.
Yeah, Deathstroke tore him up. Deathstroke gave him work.
But
Batman says it. Batman says
Robin's running to save him, grandfather, and then the shit blows up, and Batman like saves him, knocks him back, and then he's just like, no.
Yeah. But Batman says it. Batman says that Deathstroke is one of the most deadliest assassins in the DC universe.
Mm-hmm.
And if he wants you dead, you will be dead.
Yeah, no question. Deathstroke will put a bullet in your ass from a mile away, or he will run up behind you and slit your throat.
That's it.
The Demon's Shadow. Kill them all. That's Talia.
That's Talia, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, whoa. What's going to happen here? It looks like... Is that what's... Is Robin teaming up with Deathstroke here? Is that Robin?
It looks like it could be his kid.
See. We had to make it bigger.
Oh, could it be his kid, Deathstroke's kid?
Yes, he has a daughter. I'll tell you.
Oh, Dara. Well, that might not be the kid then.
Shit, that's the daughter.
That's the dude.
Oh, so maybe.
That's not Robin. No, that's not Robin. No, that's not Robin.
Okay.
Because Damian has black hair.
Oh, it is his son.
But he has a baby by Talia. And they're trying to figure out how.
This is Deathstroke's son, because he said, Dad, what is this? Is Ra's really dead? Death to Deathstroke. And then Flashpoint Beyond Zero
Starts
is coming
in
out.
there. Yeah, but I think it starts in there. That's where Flashpoint Zero Beyond starts.
It's a little sneak peek. The Flashpoint sequel starts here.
I will say one thing. I read the one they just released where Thomas Wayne went to Atlantis and killed Aquaman. Gave Aquaman work.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, if you're not reading Flashpoint Zero, read that joint. That's definitely.
Well, this is it. This is Flashpoint Beyond Zero right there. And
yeah, that's the one I'm talking. Yeah, that's where it's at right now. Yeah, I've been reading those. That's where it's at. That's Thomas Wayne. He just just the latest increment. He goes to Atlantis. I'm not gonna tell you what happens. I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but you gotta read it. You gotta read it.
Get on.
Norin Red, the Cyber fan. Cyber's a cool Wolverine villain. Omega Red is definitely my favorite.
Everybody, we love Omega Red. Yeah,
it's definitely my favorite. We'll do Slade. Your son Jericho, Slade.
Nope, got Jericho, Rose.
Slade Wilson over here.
Those are the only two I know of.
Rose.
So what's in the end of that comic is this. It's the beginning of this book. So this is Flashpoint Zero, and the first couple of pages of this comic.
What it is that Batman, Batman realizes that there's something wrong in the multiverse or infinite Earths, and he's the only one that knows or realizes that the whole timeline is shifted, that it's messed up, that he's not supposed to be here, and it actually starts where Flashpoint left off. So he's like, all right, did it work? And then he's like, and he started looking around. He's like, nah, it must have didn't. And now I think it's the Clockwork King or Clockwork, whatever the guy's name is.
Yeah, the Clockwork Killer.
Yeah, he messed the whole thing up.
Yeah.
So now Batman's got to, Thomas Wayne's got to put it right, because he knows if I do, I save the life of my son. And I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to die. I'm not supposed to be here. That's the thing about Flashpoint Beyond. Because now he's trying to figure out what went wrong and where.
Yeah, because Thomas Wayne, he's like, why am I still here?
Right.
Yeah. He knows he's not supposed to be here. Yeah. Right. And he knows that the timeline is off. And he's just trying to set it right.
Yeah, Thomas Wayne I almost like him better than Bruce Wayne. He's such a great character. I love him. He's fucking brutal. His costume looks dope. I'm really glad they made that character. He's super cool. I love dark characters like that. I mean, he's fucking brutal.
He is.
He's brutal. He don't give a damn about killing fools.
Nah, he taking everybody out. He ain't playing no game.
He don't give a fuck.
He ain't playing no games.
Look at that. Frying dudes and shit. Like I think that's Flash. Yeah, he puts him in there. He's like, yeah. You
gotta read it, Reno. I read them. I've been reading them. They're great. Yeah, actually, ultra good. Ooh. I mean, to me, DC's killing it right now, man. With the stories, they're really killing it. In the
DC, they always kill it with the stories.
They're
great.
It. I mean, their comics and their cartoons, their animated shit. It's dope. It's just they just don't quite know how to make live action shit right. And with Marvel, it's the opposite. They don't quite understand how to make animated shit cool. It's like when Marvel makes an animated thing, it's just super for kids. It's like mad childish. It's mad, just for young people. Whereas DC will make an animated shit with cussing and killing and sex and all kinds of shit. Like it's animated, but it ain't
Bruce Timm.
For
I
kids.
told you why. Bruce Timm.
Yeah,
And I
Bruce Timm.
think,
Yeah.
and that's why we said it earlier. They're trying to do a cookie cutter thing with it because they put like, all right, they put one person in charge of the animated universe, and that's Bruce Timm and his crew.
Mhm.
So whether they draw it or somebody else draws it, they're the ones that approve the projects. Like he asked
Mhm.
for control of it, and they gave it to him a few years back. I think it's got to
Mhm.
be going on almost 10 years now. And they gave it to him. It was like, oh yeah, go ahead, take it over. Let's see what you can do with it. And it's been dope. So they're trying to do that with their cinematic universe, but every time they put somebody in charge, it just doesn't work. You got to put, like Reno always says, you got to put somebody that's a fan. The people that do the Marvels, they're fans of it all. So find somebody that's a
Right.
fan of DC Universe and DC, put them in charge, and watch what happens.
And do check out Devil's Reign and Marvel. You want to do that's the current thing that's going on right now. Kingpin is the mayor of New York, and he's outlawed masked vigilantes. So all the masked
In New
superheroes,
York, yeah,
he's locking
yeah,
them
in
up.
New York.
Yeah, he's locking them up, and so like there's a Devil's Reign Moon Knight, there's a Devil's Reign, Daredevil, there's a Devil's Reign X-Men, there's a Devil's Reign Winter Soldier. That's a what they call a Marvel wide event or
Crossover and wide event,
crossover
crossover.
event. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then there's a new Deadpool as well by Rob Liefeld called Bad Blood.
I just read that. That was good.
That is very good. Yeah, I just read that. Um, but yeah, I've been reading, a lot of Marvel shit, but these couple DC joints, I'm gonna definitely be getting into very soon, as soon as I can. And I got a lot of shit to do. I gotta watch Shang-Chi.
Oh man.
You haven't watched Shang-Chi?
I still ain't seen Shang-Chi. I started it. I still ain't watched the whole thing, and I gotta watch it.
It's not bad.
I it looked dope. I did not watch it because of any, I didn't want to. It's just
Right.
the way the ball bounced. But Shadow the Panda will be on here with us to review and talk about Shang-Chi and its cultural, impact and the Asian aspect, in Marvel, and so that'll be a dope show. We'll be doing that not this coming Monday, but the one after. Reno, what you been doing? Everything, bro. Making YouTube channel, working, hustling, selling comic books, doing live shows, all kinds of shit, man. Watching movies and shows for research. I cannot wait till Friday. It's gonna be
it's gonna be a good day for you guys.
Friday's gonna
it's
be a good day for everybody. We got Stranger Things coming out Friday.
Everybody that loves Star Wars and Stranger Things gonna have a good Friday.
Something else is coming out Friday too. Oh, Top Gun comes out Friday.
Oh yeah, I didn't even know they were making another one of those.
Yeah.
But the Mission Impossible trailer, speaking of Tom Cruise, that dropped.
Oh yeah, that dropped today. I saw that. I love the Mission Impossible movie. I did like part 2.
I haven't watched
2. I didn't really. 2 kind of turned me off.
The first 2.
You gotta.
See, I was opposite. I didn't watch the first one. The second one was like,
yeah.
But the third one blew me away.
Third one was.
But that's only because
Hoffman. Yeah.
JJ. That's only because JJ Abrams did it. And so like that third one. So then I went back and watched the first one. Yeah, I went back and watched the first one. And I said, all right, it was good. Because I never watched the first one. I was like, Second one was like, so I just left it back. But then when I knew J.J. Abrams did the third one, I went back and watched the first one, watched the second one. I'm a fan of the first one. I'm okay with the second one, but you can, I'm not crazy about it, but I can watch it, but I ain't crazy about it. The third one blew me away. The fourth one blew me away. Fifth one blew me away. The fourth one's my favorite. Third one's my favorite. Third one is my favorite of all of them.
Norn Red, go watch episodes 3 and 4 now.
There is 2 free episodes of The Man.
Fucking mind blowing, dude. Hilarious than a motherfucker, dog.
Yeah, I want to see that. The Man Who Fell to Earth. I want to see that.
super funny and super good. Yeah, Mordo. Yeah, Mordo from Stranger. That's who is
Oh, that's
the
Mordo. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, Slade, that answers your question. That's what Reno been doing. He been watching The Man Who Fell to Earth instead of Shang-Chi. Now you
Yeah,
know.
Man Fell to Earth, all kinds of shit. Man, it's a lot of shit to watch, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be watching Night Skies is crazy, some new shit. But like I've been watching The Offer. I've been watching Winning Time, the Magic Johnson show on HBO Max. If you ain't watched that shit, very good. Um what else? What
I've
else?
been watching Star Trek. I'm watching Star Trek.
Yeah, I haven't watched Star Trek since Next Generation.
Are you serious? You done missed out on
Yeah.
some good Star Trek, sir. You mean you
Barry.
didn't watch? Wait a minute. You didn't watch Voyager, Deep Space
No,
Nine?
no.
Oh.
No, because I was never like a Star Trek guy. Like I grew up as a Star Wars guy. You know what I'm saying? My dad, he was the Star Trek guy. Pops, what's up? Um, he was the Star Trek guy. I was the Star Wars guy. It's just and it's not. I think as I got older and matured, I was able to appreciate Star Trek, you know, a little more. But as a kid, it was boring. There was no, you know what I'm saying? There was no action. It was just
Oh,
I couldn't get into it. Couldn't get into it. There was no lightsaber battles. There was no, you know what I mean? It was just very little. They had the phaser. I was like, it just to me as a kid, I didn't get. As I got older and more mature, I love the idea behind it. The Federation of you know what I'm saying, all the different planets and shit, and that's dope. I love the idea, and the new movies are phenomenal. They definitely made me.
but that goes back to what I said earlier about people complain. Like J.J. Abrams started a whole new timeline, which me as a Star Trek fan, I thought was a good idea because it breathed life into Star Trek. Um, the one thing, like I always say, Hollywood's not that smart. When you watch the original series, the episodes, there are a lot of movies you can make that are based off of certain key episodes
Yeah.
that you can make movies about. Like when they did Khan was on the episode of the original series. They got the
Was
original
he?
actor to play Khan. Yeah, they got the original Macarto Montalban.
I thought he was just
He
from
was
the
Khan.
movie.
No, bro, he was Khan
I
in the
saw
original
Wrath of
TV
Khan.
show. Yeah, he was Khan in the original show,
Oh, I didn't know that. I
and they
thought he
brought
was
him
just
back.
from Wrath of
That's
Khan.
in the okay in the movie when he talked about City Alpha 5 and City Alpha 6. And he
Mm.
was like, yo, he was like, when we left City Alpha 5, like it was, and they dropped them off. He said, it's a good planet. And remember, he yelled at Chekhov. He was like, this is City Alpha 5. And he told him, he said, the sun went nova, or something like that. Or it was like an
Mm.
explosion and it warped the trajectory of the planet's inputs. One of the planets exploded. So he was like, we had to survive. You know, it knocked us out of the orbit of the sun that we were in. So he was like, we had to survive how we had to survive. And y'all never came back and checked on us. So he felt like since y'all never came back to even see how we were doing, you know, screw y'all. And then he stole the Reliant, and then he went after Kirk, and he wanted Genesis. It was a whole big thing, man. That listen, that was dope. And you could do that with a lot of Star Trek episodes, bro. You can
Yeah,
explore Christopher Pike. I mean, it's a
yeah,
lot, bro. It's a lot you can get into. So that Kelvin timeline basically says that in the future, the Romulus is destroyed. Their sun goes nova, and Spock tries to save it, but he was too late to save it, and then he went back in time to try to save it, but Nero went back in time before he did, or went back the same time, but they wound up arriving. Spock wound up arriving like to himself when he went through it. It was like a year later, but to Nero and them it was only a few seconds, and
right.
so when he got there, you know, Nero was like, well, since Romulus was destroyed, I'm gonna destroy Vulcan. So he went and destroyed Vulcan and misplaced a whole lot of Vulcan. So it did a lot of damage in the early years. So it actually delayed their 5-year mission. So in part two, somebody Peter Weller and them found Khan instead of Kirk and them, and that's how you got the Wrath of Khan again for the Kelvin timeline, and that's when they had Benjamin Cumberbatch. He played Khan. He played a good Khan too. He played
Yeah,
a
he
really
did.
good. He
Yeah,
played
he
a really
did.
good Khan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those movies are great. They definitely breathe life into the franchise.
Yeah, but a lot of
And they
people don't
gave
like
it
the Kelvin timeline. Reno, they hate it. They
mm,
hate that joint. They talk about it bad. They were like, "Oh, bring it back and give us the Klingons." And,
Oh,
oh,
yeah,
they just don't like the Kelvin timeline because it actually erases a lot. Like
um,
it actually makes the original series obsolete
oh,
because because everything got pushed back by 5 years if you go by the Kelvin timeline.
and don't it have something to do with Spock?
What do you mean?
Like, don't it have something to do with Spock dying
No,
or
in this timeline, in the original timeline, Spock died when they fought Khan, but in this timeline, Kirk died,
mm,
and they bought Kirk back with Khan's blood. But in the second one, in the original one, they bought Spock back. They shot a torpedo onto a planet with the Genesis uh, software or whatever. It was the stuff that made a dead planet life, but it actually brought Spock back to life, and they didn't
right,
know it when they went back to the planet because it was unstable. The planet would live and thrive, but it wouldn't last long, and that
right.
was a problem. So,
Star Trek.
but Star Trek is you gotta watch, man. Listen, you gotta watch Star Trek's deep. You gotta watch Star. I'm a Trekkie. I'm a fan.
Yeah,
I'm a
it's
fan.
like it's a whole thing. You got to get
Yeah, I'm a
into it.
fan.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah,
get
I'm a
into it.
fan. And that's the Kelvin timeline. And in the Kelvin timeline, Lieutenant Uhura and Spock have a relationship. But in the regular timeline, it's Scotty and Uhura that have the relationship.
Right. Have you
So
guys watched We Own This City on HBO?
nah, I want to see it. I haven't had time. I've been watching Shang-Chi. I've been watching Shang-Chi and Star
You
Trek.
been watching Shang-Chi?
Yeah, and Star
Just
Trek.
on repeat, just on loop, just watching.
Yeah, I mean, once you
Watch
told me Panda
Shang-Chi
was,
every day.
once you said Panda was coming, and we are gonna talk, I had to watch it a couple times to make sure I got it
We
down
watched
pat.
a couple.
yeah, I'll definitely have to watch
Yeah.
it again before.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it a
Show.
couple times. Yeah. Tokyo Vice is another great show on Max. Uh, uh, what else? What else? But We Own This City's though. Oh, The Staircase. That was crazy. Old is another one that I started to watch. That's pretty weird and pretty good.
The movie?
No, it's a show called Old.
Oh, I thought you meant the movie.
Oh,
By
No.
is that the
Shyamalan. By
yeah,
Shyamalan.
Well,
Yeah.
wait. Oh, that's a movie.
yeah, Shamalama Ding Dong. He made
Yeah,
that one.
Yeah.
Shamalama. Yeah, no, it is a
Yeah,
movie. It's not a
Shyamalan.
show. It's a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That movie was
Old.
good. That movie was actually really good.
Hello. Don't ever call me again. Prank caller. Telemarketers. Yeah, old was a dope movie. That was pretty good.
And This Is Us. That's my
The
favorite TV show I've been
Northman
watching.
too. Yeah, This Is Us. The Northman is dope.
The
And it's
Northman, I gotta see
still-
that. Is it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, people have been saying it was good.
it's
Yeah, I
it's
gotta watch
weird. I mean, it's not
It
weird.
says trippy. Is it trippy?
It's
Everybody
trippy.
keeps saying it's trippy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, it's kind of like you get in. It's like you're like in a trance watching this,
Oh no.
like ambiance.
Now, have you been watching Evil?
Evil,
Yes.
that's out. I didn't know that was out yet.
Yeah.
What's
It should be on like season 2. They should be on like season 2, you know? Evil.
Oh, what are you talking about?
The one with the what's the name of the man that played Luke Cage? The joint he's in.
Oh, that show. Yeah, they just came out
And
with. They're in the third season, actually.
Then
Yeah.
third, okay, yeah, because season 3 of Love, Death, and Robots is out too. Sada, you must watch that.
No,
That
I
is dope.
watched
That is dope.
the first season. I just haven't picked it back up, but I gotta pick it back up now that it's out.
Yeah, Evil. Where did I? That's on Netflix. Let me see. Yeah, that's on Evil's on Netflix. What season are they on? 3?
Yeah, they on 3. Yeah. Don't go. I mean, show the trailer. Let it be shown. Let it be broke. Break it down.
I'm trying to see. They don't have it on Netflix. I thought it was on Netflix. It's not even on here.
Oh, maybe it's on a different service.
Yeah. It says it's on Netflix, but it ain't on Netflix.
No, it says it's on Paramount Plus.
Okay. I got that too.
I got that too.
There's no. It really ain't no.
Need another streaming service under my belt.
Don't worry.
Well, you can
after the show. After the show, we're gonna talk.
Yeah, you don't have to pay for the streaming service.
I didn't say that. That was Reno.
I said it. You don't have to
I believe.
It's not illegal. Not illegal.
I believe in paying for everything that you get. I believe in paying for everything that you get. I believe that people ought to pay their way, and that if you let the companies live, let them get theirs, let them get theirs, man.
Nah, you ain't got to pay for it. You can just get the Fire Stick, like everybody else does. But I don't do it. I pay for all.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Sada.
Well, you told me about it. I don't know nothing about it.
You being exposed live on the air.
Whoa.
I pay for Amazon Prime.
I thought we was friends, Reno.
HBO Max.
Me too.
What else? Netflix.
Oh, I don't pay for
hold on. Hulu, Disney Plus, Apple TV.
Man.
Fucking Paramount Plus.
Man.
Well, there you go.
I don't. You paying for it all, bro? You.
Oof. Yeah.
I want to be like Stu.
Oh, you just keep getting exposed. Oh my God. You passed out.
I want to be like Stu with the Fire Stick.
You passed out. He couldn't take it.
Couldn't take it. I passed out. Right. I don't know what to tell you, Reno, man. I believe in paying. I believe a man should pay for what he get. You know what I mean?
I pay
man don't work, man don't work, man don't eat.
I will gladly pay for the Fire Stick. Like everybody else does.
We can talk about it.
I pirate what I want.
You might want to talk to Norrin Rad. You might want to talk to Norrin Rad. That's who you might want to talk to. He is the man. He can explain. He can explain some things. He can explain some things to us that we don't know, especially me.
Yeah.
I hope the Daredevil spinoff reboot that they're doing on Disney Plus. I hope that's good too.
They're going to use the same actor, so
I'm really worried about that show, and I just hope it's really good. And
I'm worried about
down.
I'm worried
That's
about
the only thing.
Anytime Disney takes a property and
yeah. I don't know. I mean, you can tell a good story with Daredevil, with the TV-14 or PG-13 rating. It's just, I don't know. It's gonna be weird.
What's an APK, Slade? Oh yeah, I know about the APK. Somebody real close right now told me about the APK the other day. I don't know who it was.
Damn.
I don't know. I mean, I am.
It's foggy. I can't really remember who it was. But yeah, we got to talk about that, man, because this shit killing me.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man, APK files are. I don't know. I don't know too much about them. I really don't. I really just don't.
I can do some research,
but I know somebody that does. I'll put you in contact with him after the show.
Let's do that.
Yeah. Put you right in contact with him after the show. Hook you right up.
Oh,
Mhm.
he's dead.
Yeah,
There's a new comic out called Legion of X.
yeah. I meant to ask.
It,
Yes, thank you. I meant to ask you about that, man, because I haven't read any of the new X-Men stuff.
it is dope. You got Legion, who is Professor X's son, and Legion, his name is David Hollers, son of Xavier, a wildly powerful mutant with a severe mental illness, which has usually taken the form of dissociative identity disorder, where hundreds of different alters live within David's head that each have their own mutant ability. So he's like really one of the ultimate omega level mutants because it's not just his power. He has the power of hundreds of mutants that are in his head, different, you know, personalities. It's almost like if you had split personalities and each one of the personalities had a mutant power. And Jonathan
Oh, damn.
Hickman's beloved 2019 relaunch of X-Men franchise House of X, it was established that Legion is an omega level mutant whose power manifestation ability has no recorded upper limit, meaning he's one of the most powerful mutants of all time. And he's been a major part of several X-Men events over the last few decades, including Legion Quest, Age of Apocalypse, as well as being responsible for creating the pocket reality that was Age of X, all of which led up to his run in X-Men Legends Legion, which saw, David attempt to finally take control of his powers and help mutants in the same way that his father had after Xavier was killed by Scott Summers. Legion of X, written by Cy Squirier, follows Nightcrawler and his team of not police, peacekeepers, as they attempt to keep the peace, keep the law, keep the spark of Krakoa, and all the while operating inside of Alter, which is Krakoa shit. But Legion reveals that Alter is a pocket reality he created in his own mindscape. That any mutant can safely enter, which he describes as a safe place and a sanctuary, a mixture of a holodeck and a dream that can be whatever a mutant needs it to be. Legion reflects that, he is at peace, perhaps for the first time ever, and he loves being able to have created a place where all mutants can be safe. Before revealing that his lover, Ruth Aldine, the X-Men Blindfold is her name, was finally resurrected by the Five, which is more Krakoa shit. The Five is what they call the Five Mutants that each one of them has a power that if used in conjunction, they can resurrect any mutant that is
Oh,
killed.
that's right. Yeah, that's killed. Yeah.
So mutants are basically immortal in Krakoa. Like they can die, but they'll be brought right back to the reality, to the consciousness that the last. Okay, so Professor X has Cerebro, right? The thing that he put on his head, and he can find any mutant. Now he just walks around with Cerebro on his head. He's just got this like
Yeah,
helmet.
it's like a helmet now. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's Cerebro, and it downloads every like so often. It downloads the consciousness of every mutant. So if they die, they get resurrected by the Five, and whatever is the last download in Cerebro, that's the consciousness that they're resurrected with. So most of the time they're not going to remember how they died or what happened there at the end, because they're going to come back exactly where they were the last time their consciousness was downloaded. But it happens pretty often, so it's usually not much of a gap. But yeah, so there's that. But yeah, this Legion, yeah, Legion of X is mad trippy, is dope. Any Legion comic's gonna be trippy, but the art's crazy. But when Blindfold returns, to life, and Legion and comes back to Legion, it perfectly, illustrates why Alter is such a utopia for mutants, and that is safer and more healing than Krakoa. So Krakoa is the island that's a mutant. That's where all the mutants come, and they're safe, and it's their sovereign, nation, and nobody else can fuck with them. Nobody can get on there if they're not mutants. But Legion created this other place called Alter, which is what they're talking about here, is more of a utopia, um, more of a safer place than even Krakoa is. And as Blindfold, revealed that she's able to actually live in the moment in Alter, disconnected from her physical body that gets massively overwhelmed by constant input of precognitions, that it receives. Of course, there's no doubt that major drama and crisis will develop out of the creation of Alter, because the X-Men can never have peace for too long. No matter what they do, whether it's Genosha or the Savage Land, anytime they get a place, they even had a place called Utopia, and
Yes,
now
they
it's
did.
Krakoa, right? But every time they have a place, it always gets fucked up. Like, they can never have peace for too long. It's kind of the charm of X-Men. It's like they're always sort of on the run, and it's weird now having them on Krakoa, where they're kind of running shit. Like, they kind of run the world in a way. Like, nobody can fuck with mutants right now. They're all powerful. They have a sort of, they got something that they can hold over the head of everyone else on Earth. And because on their island of Krakoa, where it's the only place like it on Earth, it grows these certain flowers and shit, certain vegetation, that they're able to make these drugs that the rest of the world needs. Like, it's three main drugs. One of them cures like cancer, one of them cures all mental illness, and one of them like extends life. So all nations, whether it was the US or China or whatever, all the nations of power wanted these drugs so bad that they were willing to give Krakoa its sovereignty, make them a real government, make them a real nation, with laws and treaties and the whole shit, which is huge for mutants. Mutants have never had anything like this. They've never had a place that was theirs. You know what I mean? They never had a real place for their own. So it's kind of worrisome for me, because I know Krakoa is so perfect, but mutants never have it good for long, man. They always get screwed in some way. But the face that Legion was able to get full control of, his abilities throughout Way of X, which is the first little section, if you guys are following, Way of X, and finally set out to step out from Xavier's shadow, is huge. In Onslaught Revelation, the one-shot comic that tied up Way of X and leads into Legion of X, Legion is able to help Nightcrawler banish Onslaught, an evil psychic entity created from Professor X and Magneto's mind,
Magneto
melding into one, crazy, powerful being. Finally showing his father that he's just as dangerous as Legion ever was. And Legion of X provides a truly amazing opportunity for David to continue his growth from anti-hero into full-fledged hero, who is making a significant positive mark on history, culture, and the safety of mutant kind. Because Legion was like almost, he was a villain at one point, and then he's like an anti-hero. He was never like really a good guy. He was always a real asshole, and he always, did terrible shit to people and mutants and stuff. But he was always
because
trouble.
because he was powerful enough to get away with it. Basically, that was the whole premise
and
behind Legion. Like, he was kind of he was scared. He wasn't all there either.
Yeah. He had mental issues that it's like you combine, Omega level mutant power with mental issues, and you're gonna have a problem. But yeah, Marvel Comics is finally letting Legion become the superhero that he was always meant to be, by creating the psychedelic pocket dimension known as Alter, where any mutant can feel safe and welcome. And that's sort of what Legion of X is about. That's the breakdown, Reno style. And we got 12 comments. Let's see what we talking about. I gotta scroll way up here. All right. Legion Quest was good. They revived Xavier, his memories back. Sinister created a lot of it. I never got into Legion. Don't they have a spot on the moon too? Yeah, Krakoa has these gates, that are made out of like the vegetation, and they're like portal gates that only a mutant can pass through. Like, if you're not a mutant, you don't have the mutant X gene, you can't pass through it. You're just gonna, you just walk through and you'll just still be there. But they've got one of those portals on the moon. They've got one on Mars. And so they've got like on the moon, like the Summers family, which is like Cyclops and all the Summerses. They've like got a house and a base on the moon that is linked to Krakoa. Mara can't say the timeline. Reno, this is why I can't read Legion information overload. It's a lot. It is a lot. Like Thug Mansion. Yeah, like Thug Mansion is basically it. Yeah, Legion beat Onslaught. That's OP. He's OP, bro. He's crazy. So Alter is a pocket dimension, right? Yeah, that Legion creates. Yeah, and yeah, he's Omega level. Like there's a few mutants that what Omega level means is that their power has no cap. Like there's no this is as strong as it can be. Like there is no cap. A couple examples are like Storm and Jean Grey. These are Omega level mutants.
Don't forget my favorite, Iceman.
Yeah.
Franklin Richards is an Omega level.
Franklin Richards is another one who they just fucking retconned as to not be a mutant, which pisses me and a lot of people off because he was like the fucking most powerful mutant in the universe, and now he's not a mutant anymore. Hopefully,
yeah. You got Kid Omega, Magneto.
Yeah, Kid Omega. Yeah, Kid Omega is sort of a good replacement, or the fact that Franklin Richards, because he's a like reality warper. That's what they call. He's a reality warper.
He is reality warper. Yeah.
Yeah, he can just change reality.
Don't forget Hope Summers, and I don't know why, but Hope Summers.
Yeah, Hope Summers.
Nate Gray. Elixir. Proteus. Cable. Master M. Jamie Braddock. Cyclops. But I don't know why you would consider Cyclops Omega level.
Yeah, I don't
well, I can debate. No, I can see why it is a debate. His beams are quite destructive.
Well, his beams are like when he opens his eyes, he's actually that red shit that it's concussive blast. Like it's not a laser. Yeah. It don't burn. It just
it don't burn.
Concussive, but it's from another dimension.
Yes.
And so it's coming through his eyes from another dimension and hitting whatever he wants to hit. But I guess the idea is that I guess he can, he could theoretically, like, I don't know.
I got one for you right now. Strife.
Open blast.
I got one for you. Strife. Yeah, Strife is on Omega level.
Strife is Omega level. He's basically Strife is Cable. He's a clone of Cable.
Right.
Strife is Cable's clone, and the thing about that is, Cable's
an Omega level. He's an Omega level mutant.
Yeah. Well. Cable would be fucking unstoppable beast, except for that he's infected with the techno-organic virus.
Techno-virus, yep.
Which his telekinesis and his telepathy and his mutant powers that are so powerful, he's using those 24/7 to keep the
techno-virus,
at bay from not taking over his whole body. If he were to let up and just not use that power at any one time, it would just take him over within a matter of a short amount of time. So Strife is what Cable would be if he was not affected with the techno-organic virus, which is why he's just like crazy powerful. So that's why he's like the main super formidable.
Mr. Sinister. Don't forget Mr. Sinister is also also Omega level mutant.
Mr.
That's your favorite. That's everybody's favorite Omega level mutant, Mr. Sinister.
He's cool. They made him kind of like gay, like not gay, but like flamboyant. In the new in the Dawn of X, ever since House of X, Powers of X. Like this version of Sinister, it's kind of funny, but it's kind of like all right. But like, yeah, they make him sort of. I don't know what the word is, man, but he's like mad, like flamboyant and like sassy and like it's he's like an interior decorator or some shit. You know what I mean? Like that's funny. But you got Mr. M. There's another one. Of
Jean
course,
Grey.
Magneto.
Nobody said Jean Grey. Jean Grey isn't.
That's the first one I said.
Oh, for real?
Yeah,
Oh,
Jean
Remember,
Grey and
I said Jean
Storm.
Grey and Storm, yeah. Because
Yeah.
those and they just sort of Vulcan, dude. Vulcan is crazy powerful, bro.
Yeah, Vulcan is crazy powerful.
Yeah,
because he's what, energy manipulation, right?
Yeah, he's on cosmic. Yeah, he's on cosmic level. Like he's out there.
Him and
in the
matter of fact,
universe.
him and Hope Summers. Hope Summers too was crazy powerful too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Our business.
Don't forget
What up?
Exodus.
Yeah, Exodus. But Marvel has finally revealed the real reason that Storm and Jean Grey are two of the most powerful mutants. Not all mutant powers operate on the same level. Indeed, some mutants are essentially gods among their own kind, and this is what we call Omega mutants, whose powers operate at unfathomable levels. You know, don't have. I'm just filling in. Mr. Our business. That's what we're sort of talking about right now. But yeah, for years, Marvel resisted the temptation to define Omega mutants. But finally, in 2019, they relented. An Omega has officially been defined as a mutant whose dominant power is deemed to register or reach an undefinable upper limit that of that power's specific classification. So Omega mutants are quite rare. And in Jonathan Hickman's X-Men relaunch began by reducing them to only 14 in number. There's 14.
Yeah.
And it wasn't long until like Marvel retconned Franklin Richards as a non-mutant, further reducing them from that number, which totally sucks, but because he was one of my favorites. But they've since increased simply because the X-Men transported millions of mutants to this reality from a hellish dimension called Amen. And that was, so if you guys missed X of Swords, they there was this other dimension in like a sort of a parallel universe, a parallel to Krakoa, Araco, and they had this big war. But so these mutants include an unknown number of Omegas, and they've since made their home on Mars. So, like we were saying, there's Krakoa base, there's one on Moon, there's one on the Mars, and every one of their ruling council are confirmed Omegas. But in X-Men Red, which this is dope. This book, this is super cool. It's X-Men. It's the new X-Men Red. Super dope cover right here.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of variants, of course, because it's a new joint. But this is definitely
that one of the variants right there, or no?
This is definitely one of the cooler ones, in my opinion. But yeah, in Omega Red, in Omega Red number 2, finally it confirms why Storm and Jean Grey have always been considered the greatest of the Omegas. And it's written by Al Ewing, which, if you remember, wrote Immortal Hulk, which was a huge hit and extremely well written. Al Ewing is like, I got three authors that if they do some shit, I'm getting it, and that's Jonathan Hickman, Al Ewing, and Chip Zdarsky. If they do a comic, I'm reading it. They're dope. But Al Ewing and the art by Stefano Salisi, X-Men Red number 2, sees two Omegas go to war on one another, Storm and Vulcan, which is Cyclops' younger brother, we just talked about, super powerful, who once conquered the entire Shi'ar Empire. That's what I mean by he was on some cosmic shit. And we talked about the Shi'ar Empire as being, you've got the Kree, you've got the Skrulls, and you've got the Shi'ar. The Kree are a race of aliens, and they have their empire. The Skrulls are a race of aliens, and they have their empire. The Shi'ar Empire is actually made up of many different races of aliens. and it's vast. They run their whole fucking, you know, galaxy and shit. And for, you know, for Vulcan, this is a fucking mutant to take that shit over is crazy. But surprisingly, the confrontation is nowhere near as explosive as readers would have expected, because Storm is able to establish a mutant circuit between two energy manipulators and use that circuit to break Vulcan's will. And then later, Abigail Brand, who is the head of Sword, explains to Vulcan why he was beaten so easily. She said, "You mostly use your power on a surface level," she explains, "which is natural. But Aurora, Storm, was trained in the use of her powers at the highest level." And, you know, this finally explains why even Omegas are not equal. Like, just because you're an Omega doesn't mean you're equal with other Omegas. Even the most like formidable Omega only begins accessing their powers on a surface level, and it's quite like it's likely many, you know, to continue to operate at that base level throughout their lives. A classic example is one of the X-Men's strongest members, Iceman. Uh, you know, he's an Omega who's sadly nowhere near as accomplished as Storm in the use of his powers. He's like, Iceman is one of these that, like, if he pushed it, he'd be like a god, but he never goes that far. Gambit is
Right.
another one. A lot of people don't know that Gambit could be a god, a literal, like a sun god, if he wanted. And at one point he did for a few minutes, but he's another Omega level that they don't ever talk about. And I don't know if he's even still classified with the new classification. I'm not sure, but largely, but Iceman, you know, mainly because he was frightened of his own potential, and therefore he avoided, you know, dipping into that you know, Omega level. But other Omegas, however, you know, have embraced their power, like Storm, Jean Grey, Magneto. And when one Omega faces another Omega, the battle, you know, is more one of like will versus powers, right? Whoever's got the will. And in truth, you know, it's probably for the best. If the battle between Storm and Vulcan had been one of power, then it's, you know, it's doubtful that Mars would have survived the battle. Like, they would have just torn shit up. But the interesting question is whether or not Vulcan can ever catch up to Storm. Whether he can sufficiently master both his powers and the strength of will to be a challenge to her. And given the contemptuous ease with which he's defeated in X-Men Red #2, he has a long way to go. But the X-Men's Storm and Jean Grey really are gods among their fellow mutants, the most powerful of the most powerful. For Jean Grey, you know, because Jean Grey was the Phoenix, and the Phoenix, you know, is like a god, like just unstoppable. And remember, she was able to fucking be the Phoenix. Yeah, Gambit did become a Horseman of Apocalypse at one point. Yeah, Exodus was dope. No, I said Mr. M. I said Mr. M. Mr. M, not Master M. But yeah, Mr. M. Yeah, Wanda. I mean, that's another. Yeah, I mean, there's all these questionable, are they mutants anymore, because you don't know what Marvel's doing. Are they retconning this guy or that guy? But and then
remember Marvel has two universes. They have a cinematic universe and they have the comic book universe.
Well, technically they've got thousands of universes, right? They got the multiverse, so there's
they can, like, when it comes to like I've heard them explain, like, look, like, stuff that happens in the comics is not necessarily canon for their movie universe. Like, there's certain things that's going to be in the movie that's only going to be in the movie universe.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Certain things are going to be in the comics.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Oh, well, another thing, X-Men number 11, they've retired a original team member's code name. While the majority of the X-Men superheroes, you know, code names are iconic and usually more recognizable than their real names, one of the original team members has officially retired their code name for good, as it never proved to be a right fit for this particular mutant hero. The X-Men made their debut, guys, in Marvel Comics with X-Men #1 by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. Aside from their leader and mentor Charles Xavier, the original 5 X-Men were Cyclops, Marvel Girl, Iceman, Beast, and Angel. And why the X-Men roster has changed many times over the years, those are the ones that remain the core to the franchise. But one one of them takes a more starring role in recent comics, and they're rejecting their original name as a relic of the past. In X-Men #11, the X-Men have traveled in deep space, a deep space casino known as Game World, where someone is like encouraging bets on the destruction of Earth. And the X-Men use a connection made by Rogue to infiltrate this, planet and get to the bottom of the, this world-ending threat. And Jean Grey confronts the assembled aliens with a show of powers, declaring that she will not be, used as their plaything. And she absolutely, commands the room. Jean states, "I was Marvel Girl, now I'm Jean Grey." So no more Marvel Girl. She's Jean Grey now. And this is a new, development at the start of this new era of the X-Men franchise, which began with House of X, Powers of X. Jean Grey returned to her original costume and name of Marvel Girl. So you would see her in her old, Marvel Girl getup and all of that in the new comics, it was cool. But shedding the years of baggage and control that went with her connection to the Phoenix, name and all of that, and but fans critiqued the move at the time, and as Marvel Girl was Jean's teenage title, and some read it as a resignation or a regression rather of the character. But whether that was the case or not, recent stories have celebrated Jean as a mutant powerhouse and one of the Marvel's most important heroes. But yeah, now she's made it known that she will not be called Marvel Girl any longer, officially declaring it a relic of the past. And this declaration will make it hard to convincingly resurrect the name in the future. But Marvel does this shit all the time. Just because someone's dead does not mean they won't be back, because they definitely will. But yeah, I would like to see her fight Ms. Marvel. Yeah, Marvel Girl, dude. That's people don't understand, man. Mutants are the fucking gods of fucking Marvel, dude. Mutants are the shit.
They are.
They're the shit. Mutants are my favorite thing about Marvel. Mutants are what got me really, like, I was into Spider-Man and Spawn and shit when I was a little kid, like 12 years old and shit. But mutants got me back into it like as an adult. Because the stories are deep, man. They have real, real issues, like real world, shit. They're not. One thing I love about mutants is kind of what is great about Marvel is nobody's perfect. Even the superheroes have flaws and defects and all kinds of shit that we can relate to as regular people, as readers, as fans. And that's kind of what I mean, that's how Stan Lee started Marvel. That was his whole thing, was to make the characters flawed. And I think mutants encapsulate that the best out of all the characters. That shit we were talking about earlier.
No.
The fuck? About Mac Miller's killer. Not
Oh
Mac
yeah,
Miller.
yeah.
Yeah, the drug dealer that sold him the pills.
That's what me and you were talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, they gave
Crazy,
that dude
man.
17 years, bro.
Yeah, he got a football number. Man,
All
it
right.
ain't worth it, man. Listen, people, everybody out there, ask yourself one question before you do something stupid. Is it worth my freedom? Just ask yourself that question, man.
Is it worth my freedom?
Is it worth my freedom? Do you want to give up all the things you can do just for a couple dollars that you can make on the job?
People
I
they don't
mean,
think that far ahead. They don't, and or they don't realize how bad jail is, how bad it would really suck to really be locked in. When they lock that door, bro, your mama can't save you. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can come get you. You are locked in there, and that's just it. And this cat's in there for fucking 17 and a half years of federal prison. He was charged with the fatal fentanyl overdose of Mac Miller and was hit with a 17 and a half year federal prison sentence. Uh, what date? Monday. It was just the other day, like May 16th. The uh, the judge on the case tossed out an earlier plea deal because he said it was too lenient. Stephen Walter, who pleaded guilty to one felony count of distributing fentanyl, originally agreed with the prosecutors to a flat 17-year prison sentence. But U.S. District Judge Otis Wright rejected that sentence because Walter, who was 49 years old already, kept dealing even after Miller overdosed in September of 2018. So, according to sentencing memo obtained by the Post, a 17-year sentence would have also been below federal guidelines. So, Wright even told Walter during the sentencing he could withdraw and forge ahead with a trial. He said the court has elected not to accept that plea agreement. So, sir, if you want, at this point, you can withdraw your guilty plea and go to trial. Wright said, according to Rolling Stone, I may as well lay it out. Okay, when you continue to engage in this activity, even after your activities have killed someone, I'm having a tough time not staying within the guidelines. That's the judge. And then he's not wrong. I mean, Walter ultimately agreed to the higher prison sentence, making him the second drug dealer to face time behind bars for the death of Mac Miller, whose real name was Malcolm James McCormick. Walter Cameron Petit and Ryan Revis were all charged by the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Central District of Columbia back in 2019 over Miller's death. And the three men originally faced charges of conspiring to distribute controlled substances resulting in death and distribution of fentanyl resulting in death. The prosecutors alleged that Petit sold 10 blues, which is slang for oxycodone pills, 30 milligram oxy pills, Roxy's, or blues, as well as cocaine and Xanax to Mac Miller 2 days before he overdosed in Studio City. The oxycodone pills, the blues, were counterfeit pills. So now they are taking these pills. So this is just to anybody that's, out there, fiddling with drugs and fucking around with pills, thinking, because I've heard this argument. Oh, it's pills, right? It's pills, so it's not like it's gonna be cut with anything. It's pills, so it's not like, you know what I mean? Like, fentanyl is something that they cut, in heroin or cocaine or whatever. But pills, it's pills, so you can't cut pills, right? Wrong.
Nope.
Very
Wrong.
wrong.
You can cut the fucking pill.
Cut them with what?
Well, here's what they did.
Fentanyl?
Yeah,
I
so
ain't
here's
even
what
cutting it. That's making that's
well, fentanyl, they can get
to me.
fentanyl you can get fentanyl cheap, and only a fucking grain of it can kill a full-grown man. Like, DEA agents have died just touching it. Just seizing it, and they'll be looking through some shit, find some shit, and touch it on their hands and fall out and fucking die right there. It's happened because this shit is that potent. It can absorb through your skin and kill you. But so these are the pills, right? These are what Roxy's look like, and they take these. They have a pill press. So you see the little M on there, like in little 30 and shit. So they have like a press that imprints that mark. So they get some powder or whatever the fuck cut, and they put fentanyl, and that's the shit that's supposed to get you high. So they press that and make a little fake pill. So you can't tell the difference between a real pill from the pharmacy and one of these repressed pills. And yes, dude. So what they're doing is like they just put some filler powder or whatever, and they put a little fentanyl in there. you know, the idea is it's a cheaper way for them to get this drug, or they can get it without a prescription, or whatever the fuck the you know, thing is behind it. But the point is, making these pills with fentanyl is killing people, and therefore it's, you know, illegal. Oh man, Norrin Rad, I'm really sorry to hear that, bro.
Oh,
Yeah, we
man.
are. Yeah.
Fentanyl, I think fentanyl killed my sis. She was a nurse, 32 years old. Yeah.
Damn.
Well, my aunt died too. And I think it was the same thing. Back in 2003. And yeah, it could have been fentanyl. But that shit's killing people left and right, man. It's not a game. Slade, if you're still here, brother, peace, man. We will definitely see you on Wednesday, broski.
Peace, Lake. Peace, Lake.
But yeah, it's tragedy, man.
It is. It is.
Yeah, these guys, man, they're getting. I mean, but he said, okay, so the kid Walter, when addressing the court, apologized to Miller's family, but he denied knowing that the drugs that he gave him. He denied knowing that they killed the rapper until after he was arrested. He said he
Oh,
didn't know that,
boy.
that he died from it. He claims he believes that the other guy that, you know, was with him only wanted the pills for himself. He said, I dealt with Cameron Petty, and he led me to believe that he was going to ingest the pills that I sold him. He never told me anything about Mac Miller. He didn't tell me he was going to deliver those pills to another person. He just thought he was selling them to this guy. And so the guy that gave him to Mac Miller is the one that actually gave him to Mac Miller, but the guy that gave him to that guy is the one that just got 17 years for it inadvertently then killing Mac Miller. He said, I'm still taking responsibility for everything that happened, but he never told me it was for another person. Walter went on to say, he was experienced in using those pills. I thought it was for him for personal use. And then he delivered them to Mac Miller with cocaine and Xanax or whatever. And I was not willing to do that and had no intent to do anything else other than sell to Cameron, the other guy. And then 2 days later, when there was an overdose, Cameron never called me and told me about it, that he had anything to do with it. So I had no idea that somebody had passed. If I would have known, I would have, you know, not continued that type of behavior. Miller's mother, Karen Myers, wrote a statement that was read during the sentencing. Her life went dark the moment her son died. It is tragedy. She said his laughter was infectious and bright. My love for him was unparalleled, and I felt the same from him. She wrote, he would never knowingly take a pill with fentanyl ever. He wanted to live and was excited about the future. The hole in my heart will always be there. Yeah, that's it's fucking.
That's sad, man. That's real sad.
Only
It's
a
just sad
parent.
for anybody. It's sad for anybody, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm speechless on that one, only because, you know, man, it's just a shame. It really is, man. I don't know who.
Yeah.
How
They're,
that.
they make it in bulk in Mexico. They make fentanyl. It's mostly coming from Mexico, like the street drug version of it, not the shit that the hospitals use for it's used for surgeries and shit like that. But in Mexico, they manufacture it and sell it on the black market, and so I guess that they're able to get that fentanyl powder, and I guess it's cheaper or easier to get than the pills, so they make the pills out of it, or they cut heroin with it, or whatever they do. But yeah, man, if you're out there, man, and you think that pills are safer than heroin, think again. They are not anymore. Maybe one day you could have said that, but you can't say that these days.
No, not these. No, definitely.
No.
You heard it from Sixth Element. Don't do drugs.
It's a death sentence either way.
Mhm.
Yeah. Old Dirty has a song. Don't do drugs.
If you're gonna do drugs, smoke a little weed. It's legal and it's harmless. But yeah, guys, that's I guess that's our show, right?
Yes, sir. We've covered it all, including
Covered it
fentanyl.
all. We went straight through to the fentanyl. We got the X-Men out the way. Yeah, man. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So so Wednesday we'll be talking definitely about some Star Wars action. Lots of Star Wars shit to talk about. I got a lot of cool shit Star Wars related that we'll be talking about Wednesday in anticipation of Obi-Wan on Friday. So definitely be around for that. Weed is medicine, not a drug. Hey, you know, it's a plant. Let's be honest, it's a plant. Drugs are manufactured out of some other shit. Like cocaine is made from it comes from a plant, but it goes through all these processes before it's the drug, right? Same thing with pills, heroin, all that shit. Weed literally grows out of the ground. You can literally pick it off the plant and use it, and it's an herb. So you can't really call it a drug. That's why it's legal now, because so much, you know, the war on drugs and all of that, like so much. Look at all the people that are in prison and all of this shit over weed. It was just stupid, man. And now it's legal because it's not a fucking drug, but they always had it like class 2. It was up there with heroin and cocaine. It's absurd. It's ridiculous. Alcohol was legal, which is way worse for you than marijuana could ever be. In every way, alcohol is worse for you as far as the effect it has on your body.
Yeah, it is. That's true. I believe in the medicinal properties of weed, but other than that, man, you can make weed just as bad as anything else. If you don't add chemicals to it, like you said,
yeah,
all right, that's different. But once you start adding
medicinal use,
once you start adding formaldehyde and all that to it, man, make it sticky and wet.
Talking about
wet?
Talking about
boat.
Training
They
Day?
call it boat. They call it boat where I'm from.
I know you like to get wet.
Yeah, well, where I'm from, they call it boat. Yes, sir. They call it Love Boat here in Trenton, New Jersey.
Yeah,
in Trenton, they call it Love Boat. Yeah.
That's the drug, the formaldehyde and all of that, the all of that other shit. Weed is what it is, man. It's a medicine. Yeah, man. I smoke weed like at the end of the day, like after my work day is done. And I'm pretty much the only time I really smoke real like weed when I'm smoking on the show, it's CBD. This cigarette is CBD. It's CBD.
Yeah, Sada was wondering about that. She was wondering about that.
Yeah, that's why you can see me just puff away, and I'm not really getting that high because I'm not smoking THC. I'm smoking CBD. It's still weed. It's still hemp. But yeah,
Sada was trying to figure that out. Yeah, Sada couldn't figure that out. Dude.
What? Wait.
What?
Yeah, Sada was like,
see, he's just mad because he got exposed earlier. That's what that is. Trying to put me out there. That's crazy.
Sada was like, well, what is it that he's smoking? Like, I don't understand.
No, he said. I think he said it way before that it was like weed, but I didn't know it was like CBD and not like.
Yeah, it's CBD. It's so weed has CBD and THC in it, but they can grow it so that it can have more THC or more CBD, like depending on the way that
which is called GMO weed.
Genetically modified.
That is correct.
Yeah, so yeah, they can but so yeah, during the day, like if I'm on the show, it's just like it's just like a relaxer, just not a relaxer, just sort of something to kind of do with my hands. I don't know, man. It's just like a habit kind of thing. But yeah, I don't smoke weed, bro, unless when I get into bed at night and I get my little laptop and I'm gonna watch a movie, I'll smoke me a little blunt, watch a movie, and go to sleep. Back in the day, though, I was wake up in the morning, smoke weed all day long, smoke weed before I go to sleep, and that's like you're like Stu. That's a problem. Like that's when it's a drug. When you're smoking weed constantly all day long, every day, it's no longer medicinal at that point. You're an addict of something. So, but yeah, if you use it medicinally in moderation, you know, a little bit at night, something like that, you can't fucking tell me that shit is wrong.
Yeah. No, I know people before they legalized it. I mean, back in the 90s, I know people that used it for pain management. Like even back then, like as a kid, I couldn't understand. I was like, huh? But I'm serious. I was like, I'm serious. I was like, huh? That could stop the pain. Like I knew people. I knew a guy once. He had a hip replacement. He was young, and he told me, he said, "That's why I smoke weed." So he said it helps me sleep. He said I could pop those pills. All they give me, all they said they don't. He said they make me like loopy. Like he said, I don't like that feeling.
Yeah, yeah,
He said, but if I smoke a joint, eat a handful of M&Ms, I'm good. He said, man,
yeah,
he said, man, I sleep like a baby, and I don't feel no pain.
yeah.
So on that aspect, I can see that, and
I never got
now
the
I can.
pain. I never got the painkiller aspect because weed. Whenever I smoke weed, like if I got a toothache or a backache or anything, it seems like that shit amplifies the pain. Like it focuses. I don't know. Like I've never experienced the pain killing properties of weed, but definitely like you know the stress relieving properties for sure. Medicinally, stress relief. That
Oh
kind of
yeah,
thing.
my grandmother had the
But people
pain.
swear by it. Yeah, the
Yeah,
pain.
because
Yeah.
she used it. She had the gummies. She ate the gummies for when she had cancer, and they
Mhm,
helped a lot. So I guess it
mhm.
just depends on like what's going on with you, and then
Yeah. Yeah. It probably depends on what the pain is or what type of, because there was medicinal weed. That was something that was like, yeah, in big country. What up, man? Maybe indicas help more with pain. So there's sativa, there's indica, there's different kinds, and
Yeah,
so it depends on what is the medicine, the medicine, like different
that's
medicines.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, yeah, we have definitely touched on everything.
Yeah, we
Well,
have.
yeah, man, this was a hip hop and comics episode number 773. We'll see you guys Wednesday, man. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.